psychic intellect and made you my puppet.
It's a Bullseye! And here's your host, Chibnall!
Sorry if I scared you. You'll like this bit.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, you will indeed like this bit. And you have been commanded by the great Tom Baker. That is the only way that we know how to roll, baby. That you like this bit, because Tom Baker likes it. I wonder if he says that during sex. You know, I would if I was Tom. Ooh, I think you're going to like this bit. Well, if you don't like it, I'm sure Tom indeed would. And for Tom, like you're saying, I think that's somewhat infectious. When Tom likes something, I think I would like something too. Although I had the other thought whilst watching the intro. Wouldn't it be great having Jim Bowen from Bullseye? That's the Bullseye! Jim Bowen from Bullseye. Keep out the black and in the red. Nothing in this game for two in the bed. That was the rules of the grand finale, right? The grand finale in Bullseye. If you're not English, right? Bullseye, awesome beyond awesome. I think it'll probably confuse Americans watching it more than Shooting Stars. Like, it would just confuse the hell out of you. Bullseye was a way of making a game show out of the very working class pub-based sport of darts, right? They put darts on TV, right, and they will win prizes. So they had a special board at the back with at the end, I should say, where you had these red things and you had black bits, and you got to keep out the back and in the red. Every red one you hit, you got another prize, right? And if you got the bullseye, they go, "It's the bullseye," right? And then you'd win the grand prize. The grand prize was always a camper van, or say it was really oh shit. That's the best way of describing it. It was really shockingly oh god, I wonder if I could sell that. Right? It was really shockingly bad. But yeah, Jim Bowen, he would be I guess he got his career in working men's clubs, which I never went to, right? I only ever saw on BBC Two earnest dramas, occasionally on Singing Detective as well. But that's where he comes. Jim Bowen as Stavros, right? And then I thought, and you know what? You could get what's his name? Who was singing the hymns? What's his bloody name? I've got to look it up now. It was Highway was his thing. Highway TV show UK. I'm just thinking Bird and Manning, right? Harry Seacombe. There you go. Harry Seacombe. Harry Seacombe is Cyber Controller, right? Because look, when we last saw him in the 80s, he had grown a little bit, hadn't he? He had grown a little bit from the Tomb of the Cybermen appearance. Why would you get the same guy? I mean, other than he's tall. Why would you get the same guy in 20 years later to play him in Attack of the Cybermen? That's a very JNT sort of thing to do, right? It really is. JNT, love and death, made one or two mistakes. I think it's fair to say JNT, yeah. I mean, keeping Eric Saywood on after, although he didn't know he went bad. In all fairness, keeping Eric Saywood on, but yeah, he made one or two mistakes. That was probably one of them. Yes, that indeed. Fine. Good evening, after good morning. I hope you're well on this rather lazy, laid back Sunday afternoon, right? We are in midsummer. Nothing is happening. Nothing is. I mean, they're trying their best to remove Trump from the ballot. At the same time, I mean, God, it blows my mind, right? How disingenuous and stupid the clever people are, right? And they do they know they're full of shit? And I really want to know, do they know they're full of shit, right? Yeah, let's look. We're not going to watch the full clip because I'm probably kicking the TV in. I mean, my computer in. But this is from this morning. This is the mainstream news, right? This is my mainstream news is garbage. I include Fox News with that. I mean, I tell my neighbor, I'm in a much more right-wing neighborhood. But I tell my neighbors, Fox News is not your friend, mate. They are not your friend, right? And they are as bad as everybody else. But here, this is...
Good morning. So our democracy faces yet another stress test.
But again, what does he mean by democracy, right? He means their ability to have a uni-party remain in power. You know, they have this weird thing. What was it? Did John Cleese retweet it? Let me see if I can find it. Here, I'll just open this up. Hang on. I think if I go to John Cleese, actually, this should come up. John Cleese. I hope I'm spelling his name right. No, I spelled it with a G instead of an H. And John. That's probably a mistake. Oh, here we go. Doink. Is this the one? Okay, yeah. So, before we go over there, I think John Cleese is pretty much on the ball here. So, pretty much sums it up, right? You see, whatever name of the prosecutor, Jack Smith, right? With like everything allied against him, right? And Trump has one checkered piece. And, you know, again, there's no way in a natural world, right, in a naturalistic universe, that Trump can in any way become president again. There's just no way. And I am very confident that I think he will. I mean, if he doesn't, I think we're in for a long period of darkness. I think this has just been a warm up, right? But with the entire power of the administrative state behind him, Trump should have known that. Again, I think this is a David and Goliath struggle, and I think I think the plans of man are going to fall and crumble asunder, right? I just think they are. But this is funny though, right? So then he also retweeted this. So clearly we see his mindset over here, right? He sees that Trump's being attacked and shafted by the state. So this is the thing that the thing that they cling on to so strongly. A judge appointed by Trump, it doesn't matter, right? You're talking to a uni party, right? And I think the first time Trump was in power, like me, I don't think he realized how insanely corrupt the entirety of the political system is, right? And it's insanely corrupt, right? So my issued a search warrant at the request of a director of the FBI appointed by Trump. So that's Christopher Wray, right? Christopher Wray, who has the recordings of Joe Biden accepting at least 12 million. Was it? I think 5 million in bribes? But like now, following the bank records, they think they're up to about 60 million. They found that Joe Biden's received in bribes, right? And it's received zero coverage. And of course, the people like the experts will say, well, they receive zero coverage because it has no credibility. No, it receives zero coverage because the people who are supposed to cover it are in bed with you, right? It's all one ancestral swamp together. So yeah, Christopher Wray, again, while Trump was being impeached for his Ukraine call, which it turns out that, yes, indeed, Joe Biden not only accepted bribes from Ukraine, but used those to leverage the firing of the investigator investigating his son's, the firm the son has been paid off via his son. And as soon as Trump got elected, that guy who paid him off fled the country again. So again, it makes no freaking difference if it was Trump appointed or not. And it's a thing that they cling on to so freaking hard. And again, I think one of his many mistakes, he made many mistakes. One of his many mistakes is just not realizing that most people are absolute scum. You have to know they're not scum before you can trust them not being scum. Right? It was executed by a DOJ attorney appointed by Trump. Doesn't matter. Right? Again, if Trump appointed Christopher Wray, then Bill Barr and who else did he? John Bolton. Yeah, he appointed a lot of people who were very, very bad for him, who were working directly against him. He came in, he didn't fire Comey straight away, and Comey set him up with the piss tape. Right? He leaked the story of the piss tape, which everybody knew at the time wasn't true. But boy, did they enjoy that, right? There's not a single witness involved who's a Democrat. Again, a witness to what? Right? Of attempting to do what Hillary Clinton actually did. That's really the thing, right? Again, they impeached Trump for doing what Joe Biden did, right? Who's a Democrat. They're all handpicked by Trump, his lawyers, his employers, their community. Now, this is nonsense. Their photos, everything. What photos are you talking about? But anyway, so the idiocy is that, okay, you see that John Cleese not really buying the mainstream narrative. And boy, people will swallow that mainstream narrative. They will believe freaking anything, right? Although that's true of anyone, right? People will believe anything if it's in their self-interest. So yeah, let's look at this.
You believe that it hasn't faced since Reconstruction. In 2020, the country did face sort of an early pretest, if you will.
Yes, the election, we were asked to believe something that was not credible. We were asked to believe that Joe Biden received 81 million votes, right? He performed poorly, below expectations, apart from 4 swing states in clustered areas, right? Which had like literally limitless complaints of electoral irregularity. We all saw, right? Weirdly, they say, we all saw them say, was it in Wisconsin, I think? Or I think it was Wisconsin. It was one of those 4 states. They said, oh, no, we're going to stop counting now. It's about 3 a.m. Never heard them do that before, right? Not counting now. And when they started, we're going to start again at 9, right? At 9 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock in the morning, weirdly, the vote tally had changed. And they had that big, weird jump. That was strange. Nobody had ever seen that before. Even if it was kosher, they needed to explain it, but they didn't explain it. They instead jumped up and go, no! Don't ask any questions. Don't ask any questions, bigot, insurrectionist. So I'm sorry. And I do believe now the footage of January 6th has completely dissolved people like Chuck Todd's narrative. Right? This was a mostly peaceful protest. The point where it wasn't peaceful is a bit that was riddled by FBI agents, associates, whatever, people being paid by the FBI to what's he called again? Ray Epps, for example, who clearly calls it. And to me, this was the Reichstag fire, right? This was a false flag created by the intelligence services to create this narrative, which you got to be as dumb as a lump of rock to be able to fall for, right? And look, Chuck Todd, I understand you got your nice college degrees and your nice tie and your good suit. Oh, so you must be authoritative. I'm sorry. If you believe that narrative about the election and January 6th, you're a moron. You are a moron. It's not being a conspiracy theorist to just say the things that you do not want to report on, right? So yeah, I think that the American democracy faced a massive attack in the 2020 election, and it lost, right? It lost. How do we know we lost? Well, now we had the former vice president Joe Biden, who can't walk upstairs and is an absolute disaster in every way. Received bribes, a gazillion bribes. Like, one of the most disturbing things is not the bribes. Okay, now is this meritorious or not? You tell me. You and the audience tell me if this is meritorious. That Hunter Biden shared porn links with his father. Said, "Oh, Dad, you want to look at this?" I think they were looking at, which makes it even creepier, like sad widow porn. Right? I think that was. But here's the thing: it was from Pornhub Premium. He pays for his porn. Which now is that meritorious or not? In this strange world, who could really tell? Anyway, so Chuck Todd is just going to spin this narrative as if it's got any validity whatsoever.
You will, whether an authoritarian-minded leader with an extremely devoted base of supporters would leave office voluntarily, allowing...
About Joe Biden, an authoritarian-minded leader. Again, there has never been a breakdown of civil liberties, the right of freedom of speech, the DOJ directed at its own citizenry. It's never happened like this before. Right? This even under J. Edgar Hoover, it wasn't as open and blatant as it is right now. Right? And so they're like, sorry, okay, Chuck Todd goes on and say, oh, he's facing all these new indictments. Again, he's being indicted for attempting to do what Hillary Clinton did. Right? You do recall that she erased her homebrew server that she was supposed to have, and destroyed all her devices with a hammer after bitch bleating. Well, bit bleach or bleach bit, one of those two. Just like really. But you know, here's the thing. I like, no matter how much they want to believe it, I don't know. I'm a believer in the good Lord. I'm a believer in God, and I just think this is like not just David and Goliath. I think it's more like Abraham versus the four kings. So Abraham, he a bit of Sunday school for you. Abraham had a brother-in-law, Lot, right? And they were not working out, right? So he said, "Oh, I'm going to go here," and he goes to Sodom and Gomorrah. And he rises up there, becomes a judge there. Then a bunch of kings attack, 4 kings attack, and he becomes a slave, a prisoner. They capture him. So Abraham says, I got to go to war with them. He's vastly outnumbered, right? And he wins, right? He completely wins. He's outnumbered in the way that John Cleese pointed out of it, which I think this is really quite brilliant. And yet still he wins, right? He wins hands down. So I would like to hope that's what's going to go down, right? I would like to hope that's what's going to go down. If not, right, we are heading for an extended period of darkness, right? And look, Jewish New Year's coming. Every time I say like like, look, if we reach the Jewish New Year and we're still in the same status quo, I am not optimistic. I am not optimistic whatsoever, right? But if we have a change of status quo by then, which I'm really hoping for, right? I'm believing in, but it'll be good. Even so, this is basically where the Democrats are right now. Bro, please, bro, you have to believe me. Trump is really guilty this time. The evidence is clear. Come on, just believe me. Let this play out, bro. No, dude, you guys are weirdos, right? You guys are absolute weirdos. Let me show you a few ways that you guys are weirdos. In my daddy's belly, the miracle of male birth. Well, I'm glad we agree it's a miracle. Because, yeah, I don't think you are whatever you believe to be. So here's another thing. This is a 60-year-old man pretending to be a little girl. You can't tell me this isn't a sexual fetish, right? This is absolutely like he loves his skirt flying up over his head, right? You cannot tell me this is not a sexual fetish. Yeah. And, look, I mean, just look at the degeneracy where we got to. Absolutely no masturbating on company time. Clock out before you point. What company is this? Like, and why do you need to be told this? Like, honestly, I think I can go to work without rubbing one out. Right, and if you can't, you need, you need some help. But we live in sexually confusing times. I mean, look. This is what's happened to a sexual icon of young men, right? That's of recent years. We had April O'Neil is now a fat, uncly black woman. I don't really mind her being. I mean, I do mind her being black because it's just like that's so. April O'Neil is so white. I mean, listen, to me, that's the ultimate April O'Neil. Well done, Angie Griffin. The ultimate April O'Neil. Thank you very much for enlightening us the way. Again, I don't like. No wonder we live in very sexually confusing times because these are sexually confusing times. So anyway, this is another reason why I think the Trumpster is going to do okay, right? It's going to do okay. Where is this? Yeah. 1 second. I agree with every word of this.
I get is that the Republicans find out this information and then they do nothing about it. They don't do anything about it.
I mean,
right?
I think the reason they don't do anything about it is several reasons. One, they don't like Trump, right? Trump is not on their side. There is a uni party, and I was happy to see Mitch McConnell run out of batteries and have a mini stroke the other day. Because again, I just feel this is an indication of the way that the The Jewish word is muzzle. I think luck is a rough translation, right? But it's kind of like, do you remember Red Dwarf, that one with the luck viruses? I really like that one, right? Where they had like positive viruses and negative viruses, right? And sometimes you get a dose of the anti-flu, right? Where you just feel great. Right, so to get out the thing, they infect Lister with the luck virus, and they go, first we need this, and he just kind of trips over it. Right, they find everything. They, what a stroke of luck, I really like that. So, yeah. But yeah, look, the Republicans are just useless. You've got something. Jim Jordan's doing great. The few, like I would say, there's probably about a 20 to 25% enclave in the Republicans who are of any use whatsoever. All of the rest of them are just really just clinging on to money and power, right? And they'll cling on to whatever gives them the money and power. I think, what's his name? Last name Graham. Senator Graham. Lindsey Graham, right? Lindsey Graham, right? I think. Now I've lost where I am. There I found that. So yeah, like Lindsey Graham, he will go whichever way that he can be suckled. But I think he's being suckled nicely from the Ukraine war, right? Which is just, it's man, people just don't really get how much dying there is going on. I just saw the trailer for the Michael Caine movie, The Great Escape, where he plays a 90-year-old who goes over to France for D-Day, right? The D-Day, what's it called? When was it? The D-Day 70th anniversary, I think it was. And there's a scene in the trailer, right, where he goes to see his fallen friend, and he looks and he says he remembers his life, right? How full and incredible his life has been, and he sees his dead friend's grave, and he says, "What a waste." Right? What an insane waste. And that's what it is. Right? And then he pulls back and you see thousands and thousands of these little crosses. Right? What a waste. Right? And that's what the Ukraine is. This is some sick, disgusting waste of human life. So genuinely evil people can get wealthy. Right? And the thing that really makes me insane is right at the beginning, there was a peace deal which allowed Ukraine to keep all their territory and will give Russia access to the Donbass region so they would have the land bridge and there wouldn't have been this war. And Boris Johnson, on the behest of Joe Biden, goes and stops it because, man, those armor companies do very well. It is so intensely evil. It just is intensely evil, right? And I think these Republicans that do nothing. But hey, let's see what it is to say.
Kelly knows, he knows. They do. And it all dies, they die. The radical lunatic Democrats, they impeach me, they indict me, they rig our elections. And the Republicans just don't fight the way they're good people, but they don't fight the way.
Again, I don't think they wanted to fight. I think they wanted you to lose, Mr. Trump, right? I think that's what they wanted. I think they wanted you. But again, look at the polls. You're ahead of Biden. You're ahead of DeSantis. I like the idea that they're trying him on things without smoking gun, which we've clearly doesn't have a single standard of justice. But that's America now. America is a third world dictatorship. It's sad, right? It's sad to see how that great country has fallen.
They're supposed to fight. The others are dirty, sick players, and the Republicans are very high class. They've got to be a little bit lower class.
They're scared of the New York Times, most of the Republicans. That's how useless they are. The New York Times, the only people who read it is the Beltway.
They sit back and they say, they have other priorities. We have to look at other things. Any Republican that doesn't act on Democrat fraud should be immediately primaried and get out.
Oh, I agree with him so much. And I listen, for your mouth to God's ears, sir, is all I can say. Your mouth to God's ears. What else we got? I got a bunch of stuff here. Yes, more insanity, right? More insanity. Wait, what's this one? Hang on. I should have.
Do you think that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. So this is We're not going to watch a full clip because it goes on for too long, but boy, does it show you how crazy people are.
Trans women should be able to compete in sports?
Yeah, I think we should abolish gender binary entirely.
So do you not accept any form of biological difference between men and women?
Of course there's biological difference between men and women, but there's also a biological difference between two different men. And once we acknowledge that, then we start to realize...
Yeah, but dude. There are generalized differences between the sexes, right? Generally speaking, women are smaller and physically weaker than men. Now, the reason I say that is not because I hate women, but because women are generally speaking far smaller and physically weaker than men. I'm not saying there's a bunch of women who could kick my ass. I'm sure they could, right? I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying Riley Gaines, who is a professional swimmer, right? One of the top professional swimmers in the world, husband, who is not a professional swimmer, can beat her easily, right? And I loved it when she gave all the facts and figures. Anyway, this guy's in this, and so many people are in delusion.
We're drawing arbitrary lines to some degree in what it is that we're segregating here.
But there are very specific biological differences that distinguish between men and women. For example, men have a denser bone mass, men have more muscle mass, and so when it relates to sports, do you not think that the separation is necessary because of that biological difference?
There's very big biological differences between myself, who's assigned male at birth, and Michael Phelps, who's also assigned male at birth.
Again, whatever you say to this guy, whatever fact you give him, he finds a way of it's not true. He's
6 foot something. He's got huge feet. He's got a lower lactic acid production rate. He's a machine that's made to compete, and I am not. I think to be drawing the lines on that there are biological difference between two different people, and saying that that's because of gender or because of any other difference, it's all arbitrary.
But the difference between men,
it's not arbitrary. It's science.
And compared to other men is one thing. The difference between men compared to women is a far greater difference. Like, for example, I'm 6'6". Do you think if I was a transgender woman, if I identified as a woman, do you think I should be able to, for example, have a boxing match against a woman?
Sure.
Nothing hits, right? No problem. Yeah, it's all fine.
You think I should be able to have a boxing match against a woman?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Because you'll get killed, you bloody moron.
Okay. On a rugby pitch, you think I should be able to play against women if I identified as a woman?
I don't see why not. In a setup where everyone's safety is put first. Right?
Isn't women's safety not being put first in that situation?
Trans women are women, and trans women.
Again, I understand that's your insane belief, and look, I get it. I just don't share that belief, and the way they say that as if it's science, it's insanity.
Women's safety is something that's never talked about.
But what about real women?
Trans women are also real women.
But what about real women on the rugby pitch that a 6'6" man is
this guy's using the wrong terminology, so wind him up.
About to run into, or in a boxing match again, run into? Do you not understand that you're creating an unsafe environment for real women by buying into beliefs that aren't based in reality?
You'll probably find that most women who choose to play, for example, rugby, are built like rugby players. They're built broad.
They're built like women rugby players, which are smaller than male rugby players.
And they're built tall and they're built strong. It's a self-selecting set, and so they'll be putting themselves in the position to be playing rugby in the first place.
All right, I'm going to edit an image of the Scottish rugby team versus the men's rugby team, and there's going to be a big difference physically.
That wasn't a great picture to edit because, they weren't at the same angles. You couldn't see apples rolling.
In how each are built, and that's because of our biological difference. And I think it's a very dangerous thing to suggest that doesn't exist.
It's also, you're selecting the top of the top men's rugby team, which has substantially more money, funding and publicity than the top of the top women's rugby team, which is relatively underfunded, underpublicized.
Nothing. I mean, look, again, nothing lands. It's incredible.
And has much less resource put towards it. And I think...
do you think male rugby players are smaller, or do you think male rugby players are bigger than female rugby players because they have more funding?
No, but I think that having that
So why do you think male rugby players are bigger?
Having that visibility brings more people who are inclined to play rugby to that pitch. We know that football is a huge industry in the UK, and it brings people to come and play football from all sides. Whereas something like badminton isn't very well funded, doesn't have a lot of screen time, and so people who are built just inherently to.
So again, it's the money.
Be good badminton players aren't drawn to the pit.
having said that, I honestly, if I'm watching a game where I'm going to see serious blood and injury happen because you got trans women who, in a body contact with, old-fashioned women, vagina women, shall we say? Like, I think I might want to watch that. Like a bit of stomping. I think I could be up for that.
I heard a story where an Olympic football team,
Yeah, this guy's useless, right? I heard a story.
Olympic women's football team played against, I think it was a group of 14-year-old boys, a high school team, and the boys beat the Olympic women's football team. Why do you think that happened?
Do you know, I heard a story once about journalist students who were trying to catfish people at a pride market and trying to get them to sort of, I don't know, straw man.
Do you not think it's a fair point that I'm making?
I don't think it's a true point that you're making.
Well, how is the point I'm making not true?
You can claim you heard a story and not have. I don't know that you're backing. You're saying
he's actually right at this point. The guy was useless, but like, there is nothing you can say to this guy. There is no you could have Riley Gaines sit down in front of him and tell him her story, and it would not land under any circumstance. Right? It just wouldn't land.
You've heard a story. I haven't seen an evidence source.
Okay, so you think that male rugby players and women rugby players are the same size?
That's not what I said at all.
So if you're not saying that they're the same size, why would you say that they should be able to play together, female rugby players and male rugby players?
We're done here, thank you.
I mean, yeah, listen. I mean, that's really his only option. Where is he? Camden? I don't know. That's my old stomping ground. But I have a neighbor who is like this big. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. She's a big, staunch feminist, right? And very, very pro the trans movement because she's been fed a bunch of videos of children crying because they can't have their tits cut off or their balls cut off. Daddy, can my tits cut off, please? No. But I'll be sad. I'll be suicidal. So this is reality. And then we'll get to the chat. And then we'll get to the geeky stuff. Oh, we got so much fun stuff to talk about with Doom. Man, she is the gift that keeps on giving, right? She really is. 1 second. I mean, okay. So this is a truly horrific story where we're going to get here. A truly horrific testimony. Again, Russell, this is what Russell D. Davis is promoting, right? And I just think this is not good, right? Not good.
Were taken away from me. The tissue was incinerated. Before I was able to legally drive, I had a huge part of my future womanhood taken from me. I will never be able to breastfeed.
Okay, so again, my feminist neighbor, I just know if she saw things like this, she would change 100%. Nobody really knew how insane. I've never seen a misogynistic movement like the trans movement, right? Misogynistic, woman-hating movement I've ever seen.
I struggle to look at myself in the mirror at times. I still struggle to this day with sexual dysfunction. And I have massive scars across my chest. And the skin grafts that they took of my nipples are weeping fluid today. And they were grafted into a more masculine positioning, they said. After surgery, my grades in school plummeted.
I mean, I hope this woman can get cosmetic surgery. But even though, I mean, look, in terms of sexuality, it's a big erogenous zone, a woman's breast, which she's never going to have now. It's shocking. It's awful.
Everything that I went through did nothing to address my underlying mental health issues that I had. And my doctors, with their theories on gender, thought that all my problems would go away as soon as I was surgically transformed into something that vaguely resembled a boy. Their theories were wrong. The drugs and surgeries changed my body, but they did not and could not change the basic reality that I am and forever will be a female. When my specialist first told my parents that they could have a dead daughter or a live transgender son, I wasn't suicidal. I was a happy child.
I mean, again, and that's the awful choice these terrible doctors give parents, right? But most people don't have the strength to say no to authority. Boy, have I seen that, right? Oh man, have I seen that? Incredible thing. We're planning this my son's wedding, And the most convenient place to do a function is the local synagogue. It's like 2 doors away from it. It's really, really close, really convenient, and it's cheap, right? But you can't. You can only bring in outside catering. You can't cater something yourself and bring it in. We used to be able to, but that was changed by the former rabbi. So this former rabbi, as I'm sure if you're not new to the channel, you know, like absolutely desecrated my religion, like from like viscerally. Right, just took a lengthy piss on Judaism, right, in the most disgusting way possible, and people and like people still treat him like they say, oh, we can't rescind it because we can't rescind that because the rabbi said it. I'm like, well, the same rabbi that took a piss on our religion, you know, in front of your bloody eyes, right? They desecrated it. Absolute form, the greatest act of desecration I have ever personally witnessed. But you see, the trouble is, people, they can't say no to authority, and because they couldn't say no to authority, they allowed this terrible thing to happen. And then in the aftermath of it, they can't even admit it to themselves. It's the same with these parents, right? They can't even admit it, you know, after the fact. It's breathtaking how much people need to believe authority. Don't believe bloody. I mean, I remember, like, thank God I didn't, right? I remember like all my kids had were not in the educational media, right? They were all like off the scale somewhere or other, right? And these idiot counselors told us to do these idiot things, and they were wrong every freaking time, right? Every freaking time. So like I remember one time, right? So towards the end of this, you know, this time in school, dealing with these school counselors, I got banned from going because I made them their heads explode, right? So there was this one who said to me, "No, you got to understand your child who's doing fantastically, like all my kids, like very, very high flying in their lives, right? They're all doing very, very, very well." But he was like, you got to understand, your child is developmentally challenged. They'll never, ever, ever be able to not be. So I looked at this person and I said, listen, you're the person who said that we should hold my other kid back. And because we didn't, if we did do that, they would have destroyed their lives. But because we didn't do that, this, and this happened. So you also said, I should do this on my other kid, right? And you were completely wrong. So I'm just looking at the metrics, right? You've been 100% wrong every single time. So I looked at this counselor and I said, you got to understand, you have a disability for being a school counselor. You're never going to get over it, right? You're an absolute failure. And I love doing that. So you keep a straight face when you do that and look them right. You've been an absolute failure. It's just what the metrics say. All right. She was like, you can't compare this kid to that kid. No, I'm not. I'm comparing you to you. These fucking experts. Never listen to them. Think for yourself, right? Think for yourself. But my God, thinking for yourself is the most scary thing possible. And if you don't think for yourself, this is what happens.
Because she was different. However, at 16, after my surgery, I did become suicidal. I'm doing better now. But my parents almost got the dead daughter promised to them by my doctors. My doctors had almost created the very nightmare they said they were trying to avoid. So what message do I want to bring to American teenagers and their families? I didn't need to be lied to. I needed compassion.
And they were lied to because narcissists wanted to be validated, right? This poor young woman's life was destroyed in many ways, so narcissists could feel validated.
I needed to be loved. I needed to be given therapy to help me work through my issues, not affirm to my delusion that by transforming into a boy, it would solve all my problems. We need to stop telling 12-year-olds that they were born wrong, that they are right to reject their own bodies and feel uncomfortable.
Okay, Russell T. Davis, are you listening to this?
Comfortable with their own skin. We need to stop telling children that puberty is an option, that they can choose what kind of puberty they will go through, just so they can choose what clothes to wear or what music to listen to. Puberty is a rite of passage to adulthood, not a disease to be mitigated. Today, I should be at home with my family celebrating my 19th birthday, and instead I'm making a desperate plea to my elected representatives. learn the lessons from other medical scandals like the opioid crisis, to recognize that doctors are human too, and sometimes they are wrong. My childhood was ruined along with
Honestly, never trust authority, mate.
thousands of detransitioners that I know through our networks. This needs to stop. You alone can stop it. Enough children have already been victimized by this barbaric pseudoscience. Please let me be your final warning.
And the horrific thing is she won't be, right? She absolutely won't be. And it is horrific, right? It really is. We live in dark times. So that's why I'm hoping for a great redemption, a great turnaround. Because man, things are dark. Things are really freaking dark. Dark in every way. But let's see if we can get a prick of. I forgot we're doing a Jodie show. God help me. Okay, this is why this happened, right? This is why, because I saw this video and I saw a couple of articles. I'm like, yeah, okay, we got to do a Jodie show. Where is this? This sums up the Jodie Whittaker he is like nothing else.
This is what I thought we'd go for.
Like, and that's how she played the doctor. That's how she played the. I mean, like, really, that is how she. It's not funny, darling. You were shit. Oh God, you were so shit. You smelled like a shit that took a shit. It was epically awful, right? Epically awful. How was it?
This is what I thought we'd go for.
Okay, it's just.
We'd go.
Oh God. Awful beyond all reasoning. I saw the first episode of Good Omens. I don't know. I'm not into it, frankly. I wasn't into it going in. I didn't really like the first season. Was kind of like twee and cute, and just kind of annoying. And this one seems to be roughly the same, with a lot of girl bosses, right? A lot of transy looking girl bosses. But that's in the first episode. Anyway, Social Mytek is here. How you doing, Social Mytek? Bright and early. Hey, you got rocking the Max Headroom avatar. Good for you. Lonnie is here. How you doing, Lonnie? Matthew Burrows is here. The OTS Starters is here. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is there. I just skipped over you for no apparent reason. Last night I was thinking back 10 years ago when we were actually excited for the anniversary. Good time. How times have changed. Man, that 50th anniversary was incredible. It was wonderful. Right, Doctor Who was at its height, and we had a great Doctor. We had a great run. We were having great episodes. We had great and it was beloved, and it was huge. It's not going to be like that again. It's not going to be like that for the 60th, right? The 60th is about digging itself out of its hole and normalizing transgenderism. So, yay! I'm like, okay. I'm not excited as I should be for 60th, guys, and the 14th. I don't care. Look, that's the trouble. They keep sucking the enjoyment out of it with their insanity. You're right. I used to be right there, right? I used to be right there for being excited by this stuff, right? And they just keep draining any form of excitement out of it. With I mean, like the Sonic Screwdriver. I'm sorry, that was mediocre. That was just mediocre, right? It wasn't that impressive. It was very backward looking, and it was very expensive, and then it got much more expensive, and then it got ridiculously expensive. I don't know how much I am now on eBay. Yeah, let's have a quick look. eBay. Look, I mean, look, they're making another batch of these, for God's sake. Relax, everybody. Have a look. Sonic Screwdriver, 14th Doctor. Doink. So in I got it set to Israeli money, shekels. Shipping to Israel. How do I change it? Oh, now, advanced. I'm trying to see how to change it into. That's crazy. What? Hang on, let me share the screen. Share screen. So you got. I don't know what the exchange rate is right now for here. 400 and so much is £101, right? So 479 is Fine. So this is like £200. Like 1,000? What? £850? Are you having a laugh? You can nearly buy the Roboto replica one for that. £850? There's 32 bids on this. What? I don't want to see the bid history. That's insane. Who's bidding on that? That is insane, right? That is insane. I know. What, another one? Oh, you can buy the box for about $1, like £200, £150. It's like, and I'm sorry, it's not that bloody impressive. This is just crazy money. At least this one is. How much is this one? Okay, this is only double the price. But man, it's insane. Okay, I think that is just completely insane. Like, we don't know if it's going to be any good yet. Let's get real. We don't know if it's going to be any good. So yeah, I'm not excited really. And this, like, it's not that far off now. We should be getting trailers. They should be able to being able to build us up somehow. It's just not exciting. What are we up to? Darren M, I'm sure I said hello to you. You were here pretty early on. Paul Taylor said, Ecky thump, everybody. Ecky thump. Blimey, I'm only up to 7 o'clock. I'm only 47 minutes behind. Okay. Soda Engine says, how you doing? Yes, the shorty gatto is so stunning and brave in that rolling stone. And, oh, Ecky thump. Oh, he whipped his claws off. Oh, got his tudger out. Aye. Yeah. I know it's been a few days since the space podcast, but I still had me foaming at the mouth what Gutwa said about John Pertwee. He said it as a compliment, okay? I want you to know. He looked like a slut. He said that as a compliment, and he was fed that by somebody, probably Russell T. Davis, right? And calling him a slut. I understand, but I'm not mad at him for that. I'm mad at him for the general lack of understanding. That prat who Dan had on having a crack at Peter pissed me off on. Well, I didn't see that bit. Okay, I got to check that out. I will ask Dan about that next time I speak to him. Jonathan Cox is here. How you doing, Jonathan Cox? Thanks for joining us. I don't particularly want to get into at the moment because I've been home about an hour. I'm tired and I have a slight headache. I'm sorry to hear that. The graphic novels and why must you be so expensive? That is true. That is true. If I lived in England, I would have got the 2000 AD Ultimate Collection because I realized there was more things there that I wanted that I did than the stuff I didn't. It's just a great repository. They got all of Robot Hunter, which was never reprinted. Other than that, though, fine. Mike Freeman's there. How you doing, Mike Freeman? Where you're in London, right? You are in London. You told me the other day. Yeah, you told me you're off the footy. You must be in London, mate. Where was that? Yeah, I saw that the clip where he says, "Oh, somebody says something wrong." You go, mate. Where did I show that? I can't remember. I think anybody who rings up Card and his London office and screams, mate, down the phone. Well, I think that'll be an effective form of protest. If no one believes me, look up how it was in Rolling Stone rankings. I took one look over at the cover. Yeah, I know. And that was Outtakes, W.A. Smith, and he looked like he was cosplaying a kebab or a hot dog. He looks ridiculous, right? He looks fucking ridiculous. And just put a pair of clothes, put clothes on. Normal clothes. Stop looking like Zoolander, right? And just stop looking like doing it. Is Lumber Rock dumb? If they vote Democrat, obviously. Cavs Gang Crash Course said, but they are dumb. How do you, honestly, how do you lack the self-awareness to say, oh yeah, Trump is the worst ever. He's so bad. He tried to do the things that Hillary Clinton did. How are you that dumb, right? And then still think you are the most. And the thing that always amazes me is how they're always so amazed. But how could you question our honesty? Because you're lying cunts. That's how we caught you lying a gazillion million times before. They had Mayorkas on in Congress, right? And they've just said, look, he's lying and lying. The people in Congress going, you're lying, and pointing out how he's lying, and he just couldn't give a shit. RFK was denied Secret Service protection. He's polling at 20% for the Democrats now. Now, I don't think I would vote for him because I disagree with him on many levels. I respect the hell out of him, however. I genuinely do, and I like his plan to get rid of the administrative state, right? Just like Vivek Ramaswamy. See, here's what I would like to happen, right? Here's what I think would be good. I would like the Messianic age to come, right? And there will be a universally recognized King of Kings, right? And who would then bring back the monarchy. I would like to see Trump be made into a new level of government called the monarchy, right? Be the king of America. And I think that seems about right. Now, I know Americans not so into kingship, right? Not so into royalty. But I'm talking about a royalty that's directly connected to God, right? And you can always appeal to, like, the Messiah or the Messiah, whatever. But, just something with ultimate authority to clean out all the bullshit from government, like all that gunk. See, America's, again, one of the greatest political systems ever devised. It took, a good 350 years for it to get completely corrupted, which it is now, right? It totally is now. Okay, I watched the videos and people like, my eyes are hurting, says Mike Freeman. I don't know what I showed you. I'm terribly sorry. Is it wrong? My eyes are down in the pizza. Well, let's have a look at the pizza. That's a good looking pizza, right? That is a good looking pizza. I can't argue with you there, right? Well, also, look, Mike, you Mike's a religious guy. There's pepperoni and spicy pork on that pizza. Let me tell you, mate, as somebody who wasn't always religious, my two go-to pizzas were this is when I lived in Bushy near Watford. They were great delivery. I would get if I was in an aquatic mood, I would get black olives, shrimp, and onions, right? That was good. But if I was in a meaty mood, I would get pepperoni, spicy pork, bacon, spicy peppers, onions, and black olives. Oh, that was a pizza. And let me tell you, that shouldn't give you an erection, but sometimes it does. I think somebody told him that episode of Red Dwarf is real. If only it was, right? That's the episode, Mr. Flibble. You're right. Mr. Flibble's very angry. Oh, man, I love Red Dwarf. They're supposed to be making more, aren't they? Isn't that what happened? You had Rob Grant went off with the producer, and they're supposed to be doing a reboot. And Doug Naylor's carrying on with the original crew, right? But they had a budget for that at Dave, right? We could have had a bunch more Red Dwarf 3-part miniseries specials, which I really love that format. I think that format worked really well for it. I was well impressed. Raymond Williams is here. How you doing? Pertwee did look good in the Philly show. Okay, let me see if I can find the clip. Right, it's from 30 Years in the TARDIS, more than 30 years in the TARDIS. You had a fashion designer talking about John Pertwee. Let me see. I think I can find that clip. Right, I don't think I'll get zapped for it, but I never do. So okay, now where is 30 Years in the TARDIS? I'm going to go to my my main media drive, Doctor Who folder. Now I believe it's in the Sharda. I think it's in the TV movie one. Is it Doctor Who Strange Wilderness Years? No. Is it in the Sharda one, maybe? It could be the Sharda release. So it'll be the 4th Doctor. It was in one weird release that it shouldn't have been in. City of Death. Sharda. Let's go to Sharda HD. Oh, more than 30 years in the TARDIS. I think I just found it. Linking the right. Wow, where is it? It's over here. Press the wrong button. Making of it. I literally just saw it. Doctor Who, more than 30 years in the TARDIS. Will this play? Let's have a look. Oh man, here, do we have like the hover about here? Bit of Philip Hinchcliffe. So it'll be around the when we're up to Pertwee. It was her talking about it. It was this woman. Oh, here we go.
Only one.
Do you mean me?
They're very important to Doctor Who. Don't quite know where he gets them from. Somewhere in space. John Pertwee is without doubt my favourite of all
Yeah, okay. So this is where I think he got that quote from.
the Doctors, because I just think he's so damn sexy. I mean, I certainly would have followed him into that TARDIS anywhere. Even
See, I never understood that. Women find Peter Capaldi and John Pertwee super sexy. And I guess it's the strength, right? It's their inbuilt strength.
if we got to the wrong place, I wouldn't have minded.
Come on. We'll just take a quick look around, then I'll try and get you back to Earth.
That's Death of the Daleks, isn't it? Or is it Death of the Daleks?
All right?
Pertwee reflected the...
No, that's not it. Wait, I want to see her talking again. So it's probably we probably just went past it. With a bit of Barry Letts. Oh, Toya Wilcox. Telling us how she was turned on by the Cybermen. See, that's why I like this documentary. Where is it? Deborah Watling, still looking gorgeous. Okay, is this it?
Nice, wasn't he? He's rather like a tall light bulb, isn't he? Glitters.
I got that suited to my memory.
There are very few men who can get away.
This is it. This is it. This is a quote.
The velvet jacket and a frill-fronted shirt. I can think of Jimi Hendrix and John Pertwee, and they are the only ones.
Yeah, so I'm sure that's where. I'm sure Ross Lee Davies got to watch that, and that's where he got it from, right? I'm sure that's where it was. He never looked like a slut though. Manley would have been. Again, he's talking in this weird 2022 speak, right? What's got people much more angry is having we have all the regenerations. You got Dave Bradley instead of William Hartnell. Which is like people are pissed off about. Social media, I'm pretty sure I said hello, chat. You are the first guy here. Idea is a hell of a drug, yeah, but it doesn't make you feel that good, right? You should try crystal meth. Yeah, they're brainwashed. Beyond brainwashed. Raymond Williams, you're absolutely right. 8-bit stick pointed here. I'm convinced Ross Lee Davies is new Who going to be more of the same garbage as the last season. I'm not even bothering anymore. Doctor Who is dead. A fake. I don't know what a fake means, but okay. I don't know. Listen, I what's it going to be like? Well, the 60th anniversary stuff, I think, is going to be very member-berry laden, very backward-looking. I think I've never seen Ross Lee Davies write something bad, but like I think the insertion of Yasmin Finney is a very bad idea and will disconnect it from a mainstream audience. 88, I think. I think most real fans think the same. Yeah. Listen, and do you remember the excitement at the beginning of the year? They just absolutely killed it, right? It's just like this should be a textbook. This should be written in textbooks about how to destroy your own show, which is what they've been doing. TARDIS time is here. How you doing? TARDIS time, always a good time. They always run away when presented with facts. Exactly, and they go run away thinking that they got the upper hand, right? Those photo shoots proved he's so wrapped up in his own physical image and attractiveness. He's a handsome guy, but he also comes out extremely vain. That's in love with himself. Yeah, and I tell you, at the beginning there was just this real wonderful humility about him, right? Which is a thing of the past now. At 7:34, only someone says, "Whoa!" So I wonder what I was showing then. I don't know. Fire. So was it Camden Crash Cross? I'm pretty sure I said hello to you. But I'll say hello. If I'm wrong, I'll go. Mark Lasserth is there. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. I do like your Spidey avatar. Pretty impressive, to be honest, that people are complete sheep and they don't look at anything at themselves anymore. They don't. People cannot stand up against authority, right? They really can't. See, I was brought up reading 2000 AD. Now you're brought up reading 2000 AD, you think the whole world's made of chicks. Oh God, 2000. It's so sad how it's fallen apart. I've dealt with school counselors before. My kids, their role was questionable at best. Well, in England, it's even worse. Because I believe even the religious schools have to teach LGBTQ+, right? Grant Morrison wrote about hermaphrodites in Doom Patrol. Yeah, but at the turn of around the 2000s, we weren't being force-fed through our media that this was a viable path to self-fulfillment and happiness, right? Because I just don't think it is. That's the bottom line. I think they're mostly going to be like that girl we saw, who was an expression for these narcissistic doctors to feel validated, to feel like they're good people, right? 32 bits on that. I know. Isn't that crazy, David Marlin? It's insane. Who was paying £850 for a £30 sonic screwdriver? You got to be out your mind, right? You've got to be out your mind at that point. But listen, there's a lot of mental illness about me. Alton Mirabella says here, how you doing? Matt, I love the stuff you've been putting on Twitter, right? I freaking love the stuff you put on Twitter. The kind of animated looking Time Lordy stuff. It's been great, right? It's been absolutely fantastic. Rebellion already reprinted all the best of 2000 as well as Titan books many times over. No, they didn't do the latest Robocop, Robot Hunter, right? I don't think you ever got the series where he was in England, which I liked a lot. That's my favorite one, right? And I don't think you got the later ones where you had who was his name? Ryan Hughes, maybe, doing the artwork, which wasn't great. And then you had a final series, which was his daughter, Samantha Slade, right? Mike Freeman, Melech Mashiach. Wouldn't that be great? Set Trump up as king, and then he'll just like get rid of all the corruption. Boom, like that. No legal wranglings to do it, just the king, right? And I think having that extra check and balance to the function of a king, right? The function of monarchy is to serve the people, right? And the way they serve the people is to make sure, in my mind, make sure government represents and reflects the people, right? And I think that would be a fantastic, and don't get more involved than that, than to ensure the government is always a fair representation of what people actually want, right? Or what people actually think, right? And also, again, if we all agree in one theological point of view, right? If we then we could all agree on that much easier. My resolution isn't that great. I see spicy pork. Well, okay. Spicy pork looks pretty darn good. Sadako 24 is here. I love them doing a big screen finale to Red Wolf, and at the end it was better than life, like the end of the Better Than Life novel. That was really sad, right? At the end of the Better Than Life novel, they get back to Earth, right? They're in this idyllic, Lister's married, and then you have this, what was it? You had this huge tanker show up, driven by this like slutty-looking woman. That's after he's been getting like this rash on it. Lister gets this rash on his hand, on his arm, and eventually it spells out a U equal BTL, Better Than Life, right? So and this woman shows up. It turns out to be Lister in another body, and they decide to try and break out of the game, but in the end he sees something that makes him want to stay because it's Christmas Eve, and it's what was it? It was Christmas Eve, so he says, "I'll stay. I'll just stay one more night, right?" And knowing he's going to be trapped there forever. Look, if they're going to do a final Red Dwarf, it's back to Earth. Like it's really and not the back to Earth that they did without a voiceover, without a live studio audience, which killed it, right? I think that's on. I think they just put that on iPlayer. Shooty wears his sexuality on a sleeve. Nobody thinks anything different, especially young women. That is true. That's true. Where are we up to? 5. Hinchcliffe was the best producer. It was all downhill after he got canned. Let me think. Was Hinchcliffe the best producer? All downhill when it was canned. So it was basically downhill until John Nathan Turner showed up and revitalized the show. Right? You forget in was it 1980 when you had that new Colony in Space? Okay. When you had that new title sequence, and it was like all of a sudden it was like they changed the Dudley Simpson music, and it was like the Radiophonic Workshop. And I know that was a Josh over at the time, but man, it became so contemporary. And basically, by the time it hit the 20th anniversary, it was riding high. Like, he should have left with Davison. He should have left with Davison. And he would have had the juice to go somewhere else. I mean, honestly, I wish Michael Gray could have put him into light entertainment. Yeah, Robert Holmes was the best writer in your 100 minutes of Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. I think the combination of Holmes and Hinchcliffe really was one of the greatest. Anyway, so after Garrett, was it Williams? Was it Garrett? What was the name? It's like Williams. I can't remember. They had John Nathan Turner, and that was it till the end of the classic. I mean, I don't know. Rusty Davis and Stephen Moffat really, really did a very good job, right? I think Rusty Davis and Stephen Moffat created their own unique identities, which was as powerful as the Hinchcliffe Holmes combo. Yeah. But yeah, listen, in terms of classic, I tend to agree with you. Although, man, there's so much great John Nathan Turner stuff. I'm so looking forward to season 20 coming out, right? I really am. Although I saw my man Cunning Monkey had done the time scoop exactly how I wanted it, right? So I might have to cut them in. I don't like the time scoop being like a chess piece, like this hexagonal thing. I like the time scoop being here. Fine, I'll pull it up. Where are we up to? I'll go to history. Oh, I just I'll go to history. It's probably the quickest way. Doink. Doctors. But I go 5 doctors. I'll look up there. That should pop it up pretty quick. That's the 3 doctors, the timeless doctors. Now I just got. Oh, I should have just gone there. Stupid of me. Where is it? Because I've been replacing the. Oh, here we go. Second. I remember replacing the Cunning Monkey. Let me just share his page with Doink. I've been replacing the special effects they did for the Time Monster on the Blu-ray that came out a few months ago. But where is it? Here, I'll just 1 second. I'll show you the. I'll keep going the wrong bloody thing. There you go. Share screen. It's a Chrome tab. This bloke, right? This bloke. Okay, fine. Nice. Share this channel. So, but yeah, he finally did the time scoop the way and updated it in the way I wanted it. So I'm here. Let me find that for you. Where is it? 5 Doctors new title sequence. Okay, I might use that as well. If I ever do that. Vengeful and Varos. I don't think that needs any new effects. Where is it? Megalos, Leisure Hive, 5 Doctors. There you go. Now I've got to go to YouTube downloader. YouTube downloader. Okay, this is worth the tangent, right? Well, yeah, they're all worth the tangent in my mind. Doink. Download. Download. There you go. 6 seconds to go. Man, I am loving the new ultra fast. Was it interwebs? There you go, found it. Share screen, video file, downloads. Oh, it's not downloaded yet. Now it downloaded. There we go. Doink. It just like suddenly stopped. Yeah. Finally doing the time scoop the way it should be.
What's the matter? What is it?
Keep the shape. I like the shape.
Brigadier, I think our past is catching up on us. Or maybe it's our future.
And I think it gives it a little bit of 3-dimension by making it like slightly thick.
Come on, run!
Doc's right too old for this sort of thing.
Where's he gone? We must get back to the TARDIS before it's too late. Run!
Yeah, I just think that's more success. I might cut that in as well. There you go, because it feels like it's a 3-dimensional object. I hope in this Ultimate Edition they're going to be able to explain how Sarah Jane falls down a very, very mild incline off the M24. Has been rescued by John Pertwee Doctor. Dipping Strawbridge is here. How you doing, Dipping Strawbridge? I have a 2-part video on my channel in which I explain why I think a lot of fans are apathetic to coming Rusty Davis here. Well, okay, I will. Can you put a link in? I would like to see that. If you can't put a link in, can you send it to me and I'll put it in? Paul Tozen is here. Quaff was bad. I don't know what quaff is, but it sounds pretty bad to me. Mate, says Matthew Burrows. That is true. Where are we up to? You're here. How you doing? Remember Whittaker? I rewatched the announcement about a video about an hour ago. Okay, just for anybody who missed it, right? This epitomizes Whittaker. At this 3-second clip.
This is what I thought we'd go for.
Like, why? Why would you think that was a good idea? Like, why would you think this is a good piece of casting that's going to work, right? Why? I don't bloody know. It's insane, right? It's insane. Gallifrey, the Age of Wonder says, says, a fan pub I am doing about the early days of Rassilon and Gallifrey. Listen, it's got to be way better than the Chibnall take with Tech-Toon. God, that was awful. Can we all agree the new Red Dwarf series, a new Red Dwarf is in the works? It is. How do we go to reddwarf.co.uk? I mean, I heard it was, but I haven't heard any confirmation about it. I'm not going to believe it till I actually see it. Yeah, this is a very old announcement, right? It says Rob Grant and Doug Naylor on tonight announced they have that the ongoing dispute over Red Dwarf's legal rights have been resolved. Moving forward and upwards, Rob and Doug hope to launch separate iterations of Red Dwarf across various media, working again with cast and other valued partners. Yeah, so Ben, it's what's his name? The producer who was like the guy with all the juice to start with. What's his name again? Can't remember. Cannot remember. Fine, I'm nearly caught up with the chat. I'm about 5 minutes out. Look at me go. Somebody says, good point, Dignity Strawbridge. But what was the point? So sad to see how the Pet Cemetery version, how we have a Pet Cemetery version of Rusty Davis. He's the post-Trump, post-Brexit, raging middle-class lefty. Kind of, yeah. You know, yeah. I mean, look, years and years. I honestly thought they would all get over it when they just saw that Biden was an absolute disaster in every way. I mean, like, I can understand them being convinced that Obama wasn't a disaster. He made them feel good about themselves. But Biden's just, like, embarrassing, right? He's just, like, embarrassing. Alderman Rouse says no hope about new Doctor Who. Be filled with lots of rainbow politics. It looks that way, mate. It looks that way, very sadly. Dr. Alex is here. How you doing, Dr. Alex? Over the world, the preparations are running smooth. Well, my brother-in-law flew in last night. And so my face is illuminated. I'm by the way, ecstatic that he came in. It's really, really, really nice. Like, it's really super duper nice. We're all very happy about it. In fact, this Sabbath was heaving in the house. All our kids were home. My daughter surprised my wife and came home. She's been on a cruise for working on a cruise for about 2 months. She got about another 4 months ago. She's thinking of quitting. I hope she does. I really hope she does. But it's her life, baby. So that was nice. And then straight after Sabbath ended, my brother-in-law landed, and my wife and I. The only hitch was this, right? The light I used to illuminate my face to make myself look so clear, bright, and beautiful. Yeah, 1 second. You see, very light. So this is what life is like without the light, right? It looks like, don't really like it. So anyway, the light is the bedside lamp from the guest room where he's sleeping in, right? So, but I end up going. No, that's a stream. There you go. My wife moved it out my office to put in the guest room for my brother-in-law. I need that. I'm using that today. I was going to make some shorts, but actually I wasn't really up for it. I'll make some more tomorrow. They always go down well, but because I didn't have the light, I didn't want to go into his room, even though he wasn't home. Right? Is there a reason why you keep saying doink? I say doink whenever I click something. That's that means doink. Off to the Phantom Zone. I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, right. We're watching the Five Doctors. Talking about Red Dwarf, Back to Earth was a definite dip, but the other series, Dave series, have been pretty good. I like them all. I really like the Dave version. And again, I love the cat one. That was really good. The 3-parter, I thought that was great. They just killed your advanced channel for no reason? Get out of here, says Dr. Ed. YouTube is very dodgy, right? That's why I'm very happy to have Rumble as a backup. Oh, man, Rumble's doing well right now. Just saw there's a bunch of people watching. Let me see who's talking. Monka Magnesia's there. How you doing? If this was the late 1960s or the 1970s, the youth of USA would be rioting, demanding Biden's removal. The youth of they are too busy with TikTok to declare. Yes. Yeah, they have been pacified to death by social media, which happens to be run by the CIA, right? I wonder if that's connected. Right. Danny John Jules put out a tweet a while ago saying, I was showing them around the table reading for a new series. Yes! Oh, that's the kind of like light I need in the darkness, right? A new Red Dwarf, right? New Red Dwarf. Please, Disney, don't buy it. You won't like it, mate. Don't buy it. Everybody's straight and male, right? I say, Saturday sent me a link. Let me find it. Doink. Here we go. So this is a link to Sadhguru's video, 2-part video on why he thinks people have fallen out of interest. I am really looking forward to watching that, right? I really am. Tell you what, Sadhguru, do you want to come on here and just tell us? Yeah, I'll send you a link. If you want to join me, you're more than welcome. If you don't, no pressure, dude. No pressure. Yeah, there you go. Years and Years was garbage. Like, here's the thing. Years and Years was written through angst, right? It was written through psychological angst of Rusty Davis when Trump became president. And again, they were wrong about everything. They weren't just wrong. They turned out to be the opposite, right? We had world peace and the best economy of our lifetimes, right? And there's people, it's a Shabbos lamp. Yes, you knew Mark Freeman. It's a Shabbos lamp. I take the bidder here. I'll show you how the Shabbos lamp works. 1 second. Fine. Okay, so you're going to lose a bit of lighting here, right? But you see, I have a light inside it. Whoop, too bright. So here's how. Now I know the guy who invented this. Sam Veffer invented this. So fine. This is a Shabbat lamp, right? It looks like a normal everyday lamp. So you just turn it. So if when you want it off, you keep it on all the Sabbaths, but when you want it on, you just turn it and it opens up the aperture where the light comes out of. So I take this bit out because I find there's like you get a nice chunk of light out of this. And I didn't want to spend money on those round light things, which I really should get. But hey, I hate to be a stereotypical Jew, but I didn't want to spend the money. I want to be cheap. I hate to be a stereotypical Jew, but I am, but I'm not in so many ways. No, watching Paul, I would have found it offensively gay. Not even gay like ABBA or disco. What are we talking about? Okay, fine. Where am I up to? Oh, I just got more things coming in. Okay, fine, no problem. Sadako has said, been a bit streamed out. No problem, mate. I'm looking forward to watching a video. Is there any chance on eBay at the moment of selling a picture of the 14th Doctor for £51? Probably. It's insane. It's completely insane. I retweeted Doug Naylor, who said Red Dwarf HQ on Twitter /X is dead. Ooh, what's that? If you want more news on the upcoming series, follow him for updates. Okay, fine. Let's have a quick look. I hate the X rebranding, by the way. It is awful. I mean, it is absolutely awful. Oh, second, Doug Naylor. Let's see if we if they give me the right person. There you go. Following him. The Promised Land. That was the last one. Fine, I'm just whizzing through, see if I see anything posted. He's going to be on a bunch of conventions. Don't see anything. I don't think anything leaping at me just yet. Fine. Where are we up to? Okay, thanks for letting me know. So, Years and Years of brilliant TV. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I thought it was well written. I was into the story of it. I like the characters a lot, but again, the overwhelming vibe was Ralph C. Davis, intense, like just intense paranoia about Trump becoming president, and because he bought into all the nonsense. He bought into all the Chuck Todd nonsense. Right, where they, oh no, this is white supremacy. No, it's not. Like, oh God, Trump was the most popular president, most popular Republican president in the black community ever, by a long way, and much more so in the 2020 election, where obviously Joe Biden got 81 million votes. Yeah, I mean, that absolutely, all those votes were completely kosher. Just don't look at them, because if you do, you're a racist, right? Just don't look at anything. I used to like so Odin, sorry, it wasn't interesting Years and Years. I used to like Ollie Alexander's movie, but I'm Gen Z. Oh, that wasn't Years and Years. That was It's a Sin. It's a Sin is brilliant, right? It's a Sin is absolutely brilliant, right? It's a Sin was so good that it made me feel ashamed to be religious, and I'll tell you exactly why. Right? We there's a mitzvah, a good deed, like from the Bible, that one is supposed to go and comfort people who are in hospital, right? And we didn't do that. Like, we didn't do that. Yeah, I feel that the gay community got a very harsh, very harsh judgment with AIDS, right? Which targeted them and it targeted their lifestyle, which was insanely promiscuous, right? And I think that was a problem more than the same-sex stuff. But I don't know. I'm a product of the world I grew up in, right? But I think that the promiscuous lifestyle as presented in the first episode, I think, is what pissed God off, right? But that's nothing to do with us. Right? God doesn't need, this is my worldview, right? I don't think God wants us to be judgmental, or God doesn't need our help. God doesn't need our help being judge, jury, being executioner. God can take care of it, right? I think it's a mark of shame on all religious people that we didn't have compassion for the gay world. Could you imagine, by the way, like what the world would have looked like if religious people had been like, if had leaned into Christian kindness or Jewish kindness or biblical kindness, right? Which is essentially what I think God wants us to do, right? And been there for all these poor people, right? It would have changed the world. Like, that act of love and kindness would have absolutely changed. Instead of coming with judgment and go, ha ha, God's got you now, which is essentially the way people felt. No, I think, the way people acted anyway. It would have changed everything, right? I think it really would have made the world a better place, right? And I am ashamed. Like, I wasn't even religious at the time. I'm still ashamed that we didn't do that, right? I am. And I, look, not that my apology means much, but I apologize. To the gay world, I absolutely apologize. And I'm genuinely ashamed of ourselves that that we didn't do the right thing, right? You know. Yeah, it's they say every year that you go through this day called Tisha B'Av, which was on Wednesday last week, right? Was it Wednesday night, Thursday? Yeah, the 25-hour fast, right? And we haven't seen a restoration of a messianic world, and we still live in it's as if that we are so bad that we destroyed that messianic world ourselves, right? So I think it's good to take some personal accountability. It's a sin, it sucks, said Paul Tozan. I disagree, but look, vive la difference, baby, vive la difference. It really genuinely moved me, right? And I think it was a brilliant piece of TV. Something that was not a brilliant piece of TV is this insanely stupid idea, right? This insanely stupid idea of Doomsday. So they put out another. We have another little teeny tiny teaser.
15 hours and
nobody cares, darling. Nobody cares. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes this product. I mean, they do like you if they're political bigots, right? And they got this cheap canine from SketchUp. Like, what? Like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, who thought this would be like the ultimate assassin?
15.
Okay, what's she doing? She trying to get her scanny watch to work. What is she doing? Okay, how is this is the ultimate assassin in the world? And she's got to put that kind of face on to make her scan watch work. This is such cheap garbage.
15 hours and wait, is that a robot dog?
Okay, look at her double take. This is ridiculous. She's such a bad actress.
Wait.
I mean, like, look at, there is not a frame where it's not laughable.
15 hours and wait.
And they just they wait around like a succubus trying to get any life and energy out of real Doctor Who. Oh look, everyone likes K9. You don't understand. You bring it out. Is that a robot dog?
Is that a robot dog?
And they got a bad doggy bark because they wouldn't license a line from Doctor Who. It's like, it's insane, right? She looks like more like Colonel Klink. Oh my god! Yes! Let's watch this again.
15 hours and wait, is that a robot dog?
Okay, that she literally just went. I mean, is that a robot dog? I mean, like, she's awful. God, I don't see any Lawrence Olivier balls waiting in her future. So anyway, things did not work out well for Suze over the week, right? Firstly, look at this. Oh, Suze. So much incredible lack of talent, so much incredible lack of self-awareness. Find out what happens next in I Am the Doctor. A limited time event, a limited time Doomsday event available from in mobile games Lost in Time. So you've got to get a shit game that nobody wants, that nobody really played, to play a shit chapter in it. How much do they charge for this bullshit? I mean, look at this. Why? Like, what? Why would you? I don't get it. I don't get, like, what? How is this anything to do with Doctor Who? Somebody explain it to me. And I get look at this. Sure, it's only Sue's UK in my Doctor Who game. How cool is that? Not going like again. If you share her political bigotry, groovy, right? If you share, if you don't, maybe not so much. But anyway, it has been such a great time for Suze. So, I mean, firstly, she should be clearly arrested for this terrible trailer. I think that's relatively clear. But look what happened to Suze. You submit John the White posted this. Suze hateful conduct, Twitter violation. Nothing like a good role model, and she is nothing like a good role model. So she got in trouble for this tweet. It says, Josh Pryor, ha 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 ha. Also, they're all run by cis men. Prove me wrong. Anonymous transphobes. Yeah, you really care about trans people. Yeah, you really totally care about that. Yeah, she is a walking violation. I mean, 100%. She's just awful. I mean, she really is absolutely awful beyond awful. She's probably proud of this. I don't know what to tell you, mate. It's just insane, right? Let's see what the general response was to this. John the White, okay, right there. Yeah, look, get a hint. Nobody wants this. Right, Bradley Dare did this. Good for you, mate. Unexpected method packed with expected. Yeah, what was it? Expected violations. Did you get another one? Cis isn't a slur. It's a descriptor. It would be like me getting offended by being called a short or brunette. No, cis is a slur. It's like saying, it's like a black person being offended by being called the N-word. Yeah. It really is embarrassing at this point, isn't it? Is this like Tarnold Victorious? No, it's much worse. Yikes. 15 hours too long. Make it stop. No. Again. Do you see how this is going, right? Do you see how this is going, BBC? This is one of your hugest fails of all time. And let's face it, you've had some massive fails, right? You've had some massive fails. In which a 3D model of K-Line is down from Sketchfab, does a weird electronic box because they didn't have the money for John to license one of John Leeson's lines. Acting power of Suze Kempner nails the double take first try. I bet that was a 15th take, right? I bet that was a sitting there. Plenty people who like this claim that stand-up comedians make great actors have now shut up. They never. Nobody ever shuts up. Okay, now announce him for the 60th. Exactly. That's not something we're interested in, right? What is this? Okay, fine. It's not going well. I mean, I think that's fair to say. Susan's not going down well, darling. Who would have thought just being a huge political bigot would somehow upset? Oh, there, just before we move on to the next story, another example of how disgusting the Biden regime is, right? Check this out. Family forced to pay to ship the body of Marine killed after Pentagon policy change. Egregious injustice, right? Non-profit stepped in to pay the $60,000 to move Marines called Sergeant Nicole G's remains to Arlington National Cemetery. Now, this woman, if it's not bad enough, you know how she was killed, right? Do you know how she was killed? In the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, which nobody, not one person, has faced any accountability for. I mean, at the same time, State Department funding drag theater performances in Ecuador to promote inclusion. Diversity and inclusion. State Department awarded $20,000 for cultural center for 12 drag theater performances in Ecuador. Have you seen The Sound of Freedom, by the way? Right, The Sound of Freedom is essentially all about child trafficking that comes out of South America. So child sex trafficking. So maybe you don't want to have an art form that that is now highly sexualized and need children as a prop for it. And then, a bit of good news. British swimming changes locker room rules to stop 65-year-old trans male from watching teen girls change clothes. Okay, listen, I wish this person all the best. If they think they're a woman, that's groovy, right? That's groovy. I don't. So, man, Riley Gaines, did she give great testimony? Yeah, she was telling about how it was using a changing room with Leah Thomas, a woman with a huge penis. They said they went and hid places. It's disgusting. I really, again, I'd love my feminist neighbor to watch this, right? I really, really would. They won't, though. They never will, because the worst thing in the world is being wrong, right? Being wrong. Oh, man, hang on. We got more doom stuff before we move on. Wait a minute. Let's see how Bleeding Cool covered this. As Dune, Suze Kensler's day continues to roll on endlessly. Like, literally endlessly. Nobody wants it anymore, right? Yes, please stop, right? We beg you. Please stop. Where is it? The greatest assassin in the universe still has a date with the Grim Reaper. None of this fits at all into Doctor Who in any way, shape, or form. But will even the Doctor of 46 minutes and 24 hours be enough to save him? I hope not. From paying the ultimate price, what, being an assassin? Yeah, I don't see the Doctor lift a finger to help you. In the next chapter of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary, how is this a Doctor Who 60th anniversary multimedia event other than you're using member bearers from Doctor Who's 60 years to try and sell this sub-quality garbage, right? Doom ends up on a besieged space station populated solely by robots, but where marauding pilots complicate getting some much-needed help from the Doctor and K9. But for this hour, fans will be making their way to Doctor Who Lost in Time with the story set within a mobile game where you explore the time and space collecting energy to save the universe. Download for free. No, I don't want to buy this. Here's some look at the news stream and confirms the communication from not just a robot dog. Yeah, this looks like garbage. Absolute garbage. But we know that, right? We know that. Fine. Speaking of absolute garbage, let's just remind us why we're here tonight, right? Why we're here tonight.
This is what I thought we'd go for.
Like,
this
what?
Is what I thought we'd go for.
What made anybody think this was somehow Doctor Who? I mean, honestly, Doom is as much fits into Doctor Who as much as this gormless, brainless face does, right? But oh boy, the Normies loved her. The Normies loved her because she had a vagina instead of a pee-pee. I know, and that broke the glass ceiling, right? So let's look at this. This ties into something we've seen recently. Oh, maybe I have to download it again. 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. We'll go YouTube, history. Is it Jodie? I'll do a search for Jodie. Jodie, yeah, Jodie Whittaker. Ecky thump. I no, I can't. Maybe COVID. There we go. File download so we can watch as well. She's so bad at this job. I mean, really, have you ever seen anybody so epically bad at a job in your entire life? Because she is epically bad at being Doctor Who. Like, I don't know. Like, how can you be any worse at being Doctor Who? Hang on, still downloading. Preparing file. Oops, something went wrong. Really? I mean, I get it because you probably garbage. It's below the quality filter for that downloader. Obviously, they're like, that can't be real. Nobody could possibly want to download that. Yeah, there we go. And again, still didn't go. Another one. Oh. Try that again. No, still. Really? I can see them. I didn't have trouble last time. Did I? Why did I delete it? Let's try this one. Doink. There you go. Is this going to work this time? It's thinking about it. Oh, I should maybe download this for 360. There you go. Fine. Let's look at this article, though. Because this is crazy. Jodie Whittaker's best Doctor Who moment. 2 years before her regeneration and wasn't even on TV or featured Jodie Whittaker or was Doctor Who. In fact, it was actually an episode of, I was going to say Crossroads. Well, Jodie Whittaker's time on Doctor Who gave the show both controversial and delightful moments. They weren't controversial. We all agreed they were awful. And delightful. What did you find delightful? Are you the sort of person who finds, paying a small boy to put a fist up your ass delightful? If you are, I can understand your statement. If not, not so much. One of her best wasn't even showed on TV. Really? Well, let's read this. Jodie Whittaker's best moment as the 13th Doctor. Now I've gone a bit too Jodie. Jodie's the best. This is the best part of what's the word again? The Last Jedi, the only good part. Fine. Jodie Whittaker's best moment on Doctor Who wasn't shown on TV, but a homemade video. That was homemade. Who could tell? Where she encouraged people to stay safe and follow the instructions. Do what the doctors tell you. Yes. Consume, and just do what you're told. During the pandemic, the homemade video captured the unique quality of the 13th Doctor. Oh, that's true. In that she couldn't act, and they had bad production values, and it's just bad all over, right? Showcasing her humor, compassion, inspiration, none of that. And with wisdom, you can't be showcasing wisdom when you're a moron, right? When you're a condescending moron in a relatable way. How is, again, showcasting wisdom in a relatable when you're a condescending moron, right? I don't understand, right? I don't know how they're even making the argument. Well, we're trying to find all these things that says Fauci's about to be a Fauci lied. Where was it? Fauci, which is about to tell everybody, oh, you just obey everything. That Fauci said he's the bestest ever. We'll get this next. I think we can build up a case. The video broke the fourth wall, allowing viewers to connect with the Doctor on a more personal level and providing comfort during stressful times. No. Jodie Whittaker doesn't provide anybody comfort in stressful times. Jodie Whittaker is stressful times. Right? I have to do it. She is genuinely stressful times. And she was very stressful times for, I think, most of fandom. Right? I think the only people who were slightly less stressed was that poor young girl who had a double mastectomy because the doctors told her to, right? Yes, always obey doctors, right? Because they're just looking out for your best interest. No, they're not. Okay? No, they're not. And I'll say Fauci. Doink. Okay. Jodie Whittaker's time as the 13th Doctor resulted in several iconic moments. That bit where David Tennant came back. That bit where she was replaced by Sasha Dewan. It was much better. Remember all those bits? One of her best wasn't even shown on TV. Yeah, or she wasn't in it, and it wasn't Doctor Who. Oftentimes, stories made for the television are powerful because their unique ability that shows the viewers show that the viewer isn't alone. What do you mean? What? What? The unique ability to show the viewer isn't alone. How did that happen in Destiny of the Genesis of the Daleks, right? Or the Talons of Weng Chiang? What? No, he had an incredible hero to look up to. It's not. Why did you feel like? Why are you worried about being alone? Like most people don't feel alone. Well, at least they didn't until the age of social media, right? But why are you worried about feeling alone? I don't understand. Okay. Why don't you just leave, go out into the playground and hang out with people, right? And then you don't feel alone. Fine. So that's a bonkers statement, Regardless of the genre of medium, storytelling allows the creator and viewers to share in something that by depicting events and emotions that feel universal. Again, no. Pyramids of Mars didn't feel universal to me. Felt pretty darn awesome. Felt like incredible action and adventure. It felt great. It felt very entertaining. It felt exciting. It felt scary. Right? It didn't make me go, oh, I'm not alone. I didn't even think about being alone. Like, what's wrong with you, you dumb cunt? What? Like, why are you feeling alone? Go out and meet people. Okay, here's why you feel alone. Because you're all weird sexual degenerates. Go and have sex with like, you know, in a normal fashion, right? And you know what? You won't feel like you're alone, right? Connect with other human bloody beings. I mean, that's a good thing. Oh, I mean, really? This article is just showing me, like, what's wrong with the people writing it. More than anything else, fine. Even if they have a sci-fi twist. I mean, no, it should be relatable and understandable. Doctor Who is especially good at emphasizing this connection. Well, okay, when? What? Okay, modern Who. I don't know what to like. I can't think of one example. I really can't. Aliens of London and World War III. No, the Doctor hated getting involved with families, right, and connection. Right, it's feeling not alone. What nonsense are they talking? Anthony, thanks for the interlay between the past and the future. Okay, how? What? Fine. Okay, the only example I can think of is Dimensions in Time, when all of a sudden John Pertwee said, "Madam, what year is it?" And they 2025 or whatever it was. And enduring sci-fi series that's been running for decades, Doctor Who's most recently 13th Doctor was played by Jodie Whittaker across 31 episodes and a handful of specials, and was shit in every single moment, right? In every single freaking moment, she was unbearably shit, right? Just like shit beyond shit beyond shit beyond shit. I've never seen anybody be that relentlessly shit at anything, right? She was breathtakingly shit. I mean, she was the Joe Biden of doctors, right? She really was. Oh, right, we're going to need that. But yeah, she was the Joe Biden of doctors, right? Not even the Barack Obamas, and that's pretty bad. Dr. Alex says, and Dr. Alex has very good insight. Again, if you haven't seen read or seen season 12 and season 13, and very soon season 14, I've just worked out the ending of my story, which I'm going to start writing soon. He knows what he's talking about. He has a real fine-tuned understanding of the Doctor, right? Which I think is generally speaking excellent. Doctor is not meant to be relatable to most users because he's an alien of genius-like intellect by human standards, not necessarily by his own species or Time Lords. I always thought he just kind of didn't care about academic plaudits, right? I thought he looked down on them, right? So I can relate to the Doctor in many ways for that, because I felt the same way, right? When you get smart people, and you don't care about what you really don't care what school has to say because they're idiots. Like, you're stuck with those moronic guidance counselors who will destroy your life if you listen to them. Never listen to authority, least of all now. There are a handful of specials. Whittaker's dialogue on Doctor Who included many divisive moments, like whenever she opened her mouth, such as Doctor Who's revealed the controversial timeless child. Now, Russell, mate, if you retcon that, I don't think it will help you with the Yasmin Finney thing, right? I think that is really, honestly, I think most of America is not interested anymore, right? We are just not interested in any of this weird sexuality you keep trying to promote as being normal. And again, it doesn't matter. You're not normal. You can have respect of not being normal. It doesn't. I'm not normal. No one's bloody normal. It's fine not to be normal, right? But stop telling me that something that a tiny, like under 1% of the population feels like it's good for them, who are quite obviously not, doing so well, that is good for everybody. It's not. It's good for everybody to not be a dick to each other. That much I agree with, right? However, season includes some programs, most inspiring and inclusive episodes. I mean, shit. Such as season 11, Rosa. Rosa was shit, beyond shit. It was condescending, it was patronizing, and it had critical race theory at its core. The critical race theory was that if Rosa Parks didn't refuse to give up her seat, then the civil rights movement would have never happened, and white people would have kept black people completely enslaved forever. It was that one thing that changed everything. Nonsense. And Demons of the Punjab. Okay, I really want to have lots of shows of kids in drag and kids being what I think abused today sexually with love is love speech, or wherever love finds it. And Demons of the Punjab, also garbage, right? I knew nothing about the partition of India. I still knew nothing about the partition of India afterwards, except that a bunch of brown people massacred a bunch of brown people, and the writer, for some reason, was blaming white people, right? But okay, whatever. Even one of the all-time best moments didn't make the television. She didn't have an all-time best moment. Her all-time best moment is when she was off bloody screen, was when she turned into David Tennant, right? And that was the best moment of the entire Whittaker run, right? Or closely followed when she wasn't on screen and replaced by Sacha Dhawan. Yeah, I was rooting for the master. Despite the strides made Doctor Who in the 13th Doctor tenure, her most inspiring... What strides? I mean, what? The strides to disaster? The strides to complete and total failure? Yeah, they're not good strides to make, mate. They're called bad strides, right? You don't want to make those strides. Yeah. Look. I mean, it's it made strides, but not not in the way that you one would expect. I mean, this is probably its most famous stride. It's stride into oblivion. Now, I want to remind you that the BBC were apoplectic at these numbers. They literally had a shit, right? And 3.47, and that's the 7 day. Yeah, that's a 7 day rating. It got 100 million viewers on its. That's the season finale of what was that? That's Legend of the Sea Devils. It got under 1 million on its initial viewing. Fine. Where are we up to? Instead of memorable moments featured, there's a short video of the BBC posted online. Oh God, it's so condescending. At the height of the novel coronavirus outbreak. Novel? I guess it was. That's weird language. Here's a novelty. We're gonna destroy everybody's life and lock you in your homes for a couple of years. How about that? Do you feel that's novel? I feel that's novel. Yeah, that's a novel way to go, don't you think? Yeah, the novel coronavirus. Okay, whatever. Everything is weird. Everything is weird about this. Whittaker took to the internet for a brief video of her as the Doctor, and oh my God, Chris Chibnall talking about it in Doctor Who magazine was freaking agony. It was like a 4 or 5 page article of complete and total boredom. It is shockingly boring. Encouraging people to stay safe and positive after the BBC sent her 13th Doctor costume. She had a costume there. This is the minimum amount of bloody research. She had the coat there, you moron. You cockwomble piece of the shit. Can you not just fucking hell? How much work would that have taken you? Fuck me. Filmed in a short with her phone. Who could hug it in a wardrobe pretending that she was hiding from some Tarans. Best of all, it's roughly a minute-long clip of homemade quality, capturing positivity, empathy that defines the 14th Doctor. Well, let's have a look at that for a second, that positivity and empathy. See, I call that just relentlessly condescending, right? Relentlessly and agonizingly condescending.
Oh, hi. This is an emergency transfer.
I tell you, that's Suze Kempner level action, right? Acting right there.
If you're seeing this, the TARDIS must have detected an upsurge in psychological signals from somewhere in space and time. Basically,
you can tell how she doesn't understand a word she's saying, right? And she's just not very clever. Really, that is it. She's just not very clever. Matthew Burrows says American audience will not care about season 14. I tend to agree with you, right? I tend to agree with you.
Somebody somewhere might be a little bit worried. I'm actually just self-isolating, or as I like to call it, hiding from an army of Sontarans. But keep that to yourself. Now, here's what I do in any worrying situation.
And again, her desperation to be David Tennant is like it's not desperation. It's that she thinks she is. She thinks she is matching David Tennant.
One, remember, you will get through this. And
okay, kids were doing freaking fine until you slap masks on them, and for the next couple of years you'll get through this. Well, most of them actually didn't, as it turned out. Right? It had like this devastating effect on the the child population of the world, right? And what they really needed to get through was the teachers' union bone fucking idleness that wouldn't go back to work, right? Oh no, I don't want to get COVID. Oh, why? We've all had COVID, okay? For most people, it was fine.
things will be all right, even if they look uncertain.
Even if mum is on the couch at 4 PM in pajamas drinking special mummy drink, it's going to be fine.
Even if you're worried, darkness never prevails.
Really? Really? I mean, like, you prevail for quite some time, honey. 2,
tell jokes, even bad ones, especially bad ones. I am brilliant at bad ones.
Yeah, I don't think you're very good at good ones. That's the thing. How can you be good at bad jokes when you yourself are a bad joke?
3, be kind. Even
then fuck off and leave. If you want to be kind, Jodie, fuck off and leave us alone, right? Just say, this wasn't for me.
Kinder than you were yesterday. And I know you were super kind yesterday.
God, she's so condescending. Tom Baker would never... Here's the thing. Tom Baker looked at you as a child and treated you as an equal, right? She's not. She's talking down to you. You could say that about all the doctors, really. Right? I remember meeting Tom Baker when I was a kid, and he didn't talk down to me. Right? Here, you want to let me just juxtapose this with great Doctor Who for a second, because I think it's worth when he's talking when the Doctor's explaining something without being condescending. Right? This is where is it? Hang on. We'll go to 4th Doctor. Robots of Death. Episode 1. Where is it? Right, it was towards the beginning. Oh, I love this show. It's a good one. Here. Doctor's explaining how the TARDIS is bigger on the inside.
I'll show you. It's because insides and outsides are not in the same dimension. Which box is larger?
That one.
And again, do you see how Tom Baker's talking to her as if she's as intelligent as he is? And just hasn't had the advantages that he's had. I love that smile. Like that, how excited he is to educate somebody. To make their world bigger.
Now, which is larger?
That one.
But it looks smaller.
Well, that's because it's further away.
Exactly. If you could keep that exactly that distance away and have it here, the large one would fit inside the small one.
That's silly.
That's transdimensional engineering, a key.
I mean, and again, look at him explain real complicated ideas. Yeah, Robert Holmes writing, Philip Hinchcliffe producing. This is perfect.
Time Lord discovery.
Awesome. I mean, okay, that's real Doctor Who.
Out for each other. You won't be the only one.
We can't.
Talking will help.
God, nothing did worse than that, did it?
Sharing will help. Look out for your friends, your neighbours, people you hardly know, and family. Because in the end, we're all family.
No, we're fucking not. Okay, that creepy, Uncle Reggie who lives down the street, who only comes around when your parents are out and wants to close the curtain. He's not your fucking family, okay? Don't play doctor with him.
4, listen to science.
Really? Listen to science, right? Oh, the science. Let's see how that went down there, Jodie. Did that one age badly, you think? Let's have a look at this. This is the Australian, the Australian weekend. So when's this from? Today, yesterday? Now, Australia went on insane lockdown, right? With draconian policies. COVID cover-up. How science was silenced. Really? You told us to listen to the science there, Jodie. Looks like you got a bit of egg on your idiot face, don't you? Because you're a moron, right? Because you're a moron.
Right?
You really? Only the doctors we like, though.
5. Stay strong.
Is she still going on? We're up to 5 points already.
Stay positive. You've got this. And I will see you very soon.
In that case, I don't want to have it, right? I don't want to have it. I'll jump out. I'll jump off a building instead, right? This doesn't seem to be something that I want to have. That was her greatest moment, they're saying? Really? I think that means we're agreeing, don't you? Oddly enough, the impromptu Doctor Who scene captured exactly what makes Jodie studying Doctor Unique. She was shit and condescending. We agree. No matter what the reincarnation she's in, she's nothing like anybody else who played the Doctor. While some moments in 13's made-for-TV episodes were able to portray those facets of the character too, never. That she was like condescending. Also, all of them. They were often overshadowed by the sci-fi setting and plot reveals. I mean, really, it got too big. Like it overshadowed her well-defined character. You think? What was that? 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I just got a message that my wife will be back in an hour. Okay, they're off to. My wife and my brother-in-law are off to 7-Eleven. Well, okay, I don't understand, but there's only one. There's only one in Israel, I think. But it's the only place you can get a slushie. But anyway, I digress. I'll see you soon. Jodie appears in the Rabbi's room. Oh God, would I love to interview her? Oh, I would love to interview her. The contrast made Whittaker's home-produced scene even more impactful. We just watched it. It was shit. A fact that the BBC also recognised by including the Doctor video mentioned in the trailer for The Power of the Doctor ending, which captured the 30th highlights. No, they just needed more footage of her. Right. Well, it's surprising this moment became so iconic in Doctor Who canon. It's not in Doctor Who canon, and it's not iconic. Everything you're saying is wrong. Right? Not one thing you're saying is true or makes sense. Right? Everything is wrong. It truly reflects the best of Doctor in Whittaker's fashion. She brought humor and a touch of whimsy. No. You can't have humor and whimsy without a respect of the audience, right? It's just patronizing them down to a frightening situation. She was the frightening situation. And again, remember, like her sage-like advice, trust science. Oh, science, icky thumb. Listen to the doctors and trust the science. Because, of course, the science wouldn't lie to us. They wouldn't cover up the Oh, icky thumb, trust the science. I trusted science. And it went badly. Yes, darling, it did. It did. Because you're a moron, right? You are, I mean, like, again, you did something new with the Doctor. You played her as a moron because that's all you can play her as because you are a moron. At the same time, Doctor also exemplified the traits of compassion, inspiration, and wisdom. There was no wisdom in that. And Chris Chibnall was writing it, for God's sake. What wisdom do you think you're going to find at a Chris Chibnall episode? Moreover, the homemade video broke the fourth wall by placing the Doctor in a situation alongside the viewers. Both partners were alone and in hiding. No, the kids were fine for the first couple of weeks of it, right? This allowed fans to connect with Doctor on a more human, personal level and provide much needed comfort during the unprecedented time. No, it fucking didn't. Right? No, it didn't. One second. Let's go to Pocket Bags. Let's see if I can find the issue that they talked about. Oh, okay. We'll narrow it to Doctor Who magazine. So it'll probably be a Jodie cover. It'll be 4 flux. When was this one? Let's have a look. Maybe it's this issue. Oh God, she's so awful. I mean, she is in every way awful. Hang on, let's have a look. Is this the one? Doesn't look like it. What? When is this from? Is it? God, I didn't really. Oh, Rusty Day is already back, right? So no, got to be before that. So could it be this one? So few covers, right? She's on. It's really incredible. When's this one from? April 2021. Oh, and that's probably before this. Yeah. So this is like, yeah, it must be before this. So that's August. Let's go back to 2020. So that'll be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that stupid face. 8, 9, 10. I'm going to check this one before I'm. So you want a revolution of the Dalek? Oh God, how did she get that? That's still a mystery. She was going to reveal the. Is this it? No, but look again. Just look how achingly boring this looks, right? Look, they're having fun now because they're off camera. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So that was. Let's go one more. Okay, so it's around here somewhere, right? It's got to be. But it's like so much work went into it being so shit. So September. Oh, we are getting close now. Because it came out what, April, I believe. No, fine. Let's go. August. Was it this one? It was one of these ones. We're certainly getting close now. Bit of real Doctor Who on there. Where are we up to? Now I've really got to find it. By the way, have you noticed there's no release date for the Jodie Big Finish audios? Weirdly enough, right? That's really strange. Hang on. Where's this from again? Let's have a look. Where's the cover date on this one? May. Okay, so it must be around there somewhere. Joe Martin is the Doctor. Let's have a look. Public image. The latest update on Doctor Who's ratings in the looks at the middle episodes of the most recent series. By the time you realize that season 12 of Doctor Who will have finished airing. However, as the issue goes to press, we only have a partial indication. The latest issue we've confirmed that the ratings are plummeting as always. So we're 6.89, 607, 5.38. Right, keeps going down and down and down. Look at this, 5.7, 5.2, 5.22. Yeah, it's because it's shit. It's shit, and nobody liked it. Now, when was the cover date of this one? It was April 2020. So it must be around here somewhere. So April. Let's try over here then. because it was achingly dull. Is this it? Yes. Fine. How are you? It's not the most dynamic opening ever to production notes. Nothing is. But you might have guessed the heartfelt, the most heartfelt. Really, the phrase I guess that we're now using more than ever, with new intent. I mean, see, this is the thing I hated most about COVID. It gave pompous arseholes ways to be more pompous, right? And self-aggrandizing. So I hope you're well. I hope you're staying safe, and I hope the same is true of your family and friends. Well, you know, unless you had a granny in New York, and then they're being thrown into having COVID patients thrown in there to kill them. So yeah, that's working out fine. The Doctor Who production team community is staying in touch with each other. A stream of blah 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 blah. We spend 10 months a year saying how many days left in blah 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 blah. Casting ahead to the future seems strange, but now I think as I write this, well, this is before they had to. They were told to completely rearrange their plans. But oh god, yeah, this is it, right? Casting ahead to the future seems strange, but it's the only thing we can do. It's the only thing to do. Even now, as I write this on Easter Monday around 2:53 in the afternoon. That's a really boring detail, Chris. I have no idea what the world will be like by the time you realize this. You still have no idea. Okay, here's an idea what the world's going to be like. We all hate you and your shit, right? That's going to stay the same. COVID doesn't save you from that. I have casting back to the past feels just as strange. I only intermittently remember a time to put down the diary entries to my last, which was 2nd of March after the transmission of the Timeless Children. Oh, you mean after it got universally panned and hated, right? I read it back and it seems like dispatches from another century. When we had meetings in person and in cafes, we did some storylining that week and had some we noted the World Health Organization. Oh, that unimpeachable body. Diagram for washing your hands appeared on the mirror in every bathroom. God, it's so fucking boring! Fuck me! How did this boring piece of shit ever get to write Doctor fucking Who? Oh, mind-numbingly dull. By the 17th of March, I was having sleepless nights about any small way in which Doctor Who could help the world to change. You mean you're trying to make yourself feel like less of a loser prick? Listen, mate, you just had the Timeless Children, right? Just the Timeless Children came out, and how did that go? How'd that go, mate? Did it go well? Do you think it went well? I think it went pretty badly, right? Let me remind you how badly it went. Where's the time? I mean, like, falling off a cliff. Down! There, Timeless Children. The lowest rated episode until it got to, what was it? Village of the Angels. And Survivors of the Flux. Like, no. And then Legend of the Sea Devils. Yeah. How's that going, mate? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hang on. Sorry. Fine. Again, this boring piece of shit. Unbelievable. No wonder Doctor Who was so shit with him. I was having sleepless nights on how I could aggrandize myself and feel important. And I thought, I know. I can use Doctor Who for that, just like I use Doctor Who for everything, because I cast the lady as a doctor, and that made me very, very important. My own kids are in their mid to late teens, but do you remember when they were saying like, "Oh yes, I'm going to take some time off to help them with the GCSEs"? They're like, "Fuck off, Dad, leave us alone." Oh God, you boring cunt! And stop, go away and make Blake 7 or something else. Shit. What if they're only 7 or 8? I wonder. What if I was 7 or 8 and this emergency was taking hold right now? Well, you should be worried for a few years from now because they're going to be convinced to have their tits cut off or their balls shaved off, right? Then you should be worried. But that's setting a brave and very good because the doctors told us obey the doctors because they know what they're doing. Oh, they do. The doctors are our friends, right? there's going to be doctors as science is only ever science only ever honors COVID cover-up. How silence was silence, right? I think Tony Howard is trying to protect his institution and his own reputation. Trump, send them to jail, mate. Send them all to fucking jail. Yes. I'll be scared by my first sleep this night of how I could find any relevancy. I knew I wanted to hear something from the doctor. So call up Tom Baker, mate. What, I don't understand. And the doctor had started talking to me. Little sentences cropping on my brain. Really, that piece of shit script. You couldn't stop getting out your idiot brain. Really. Before I asked her on the 18th of March at 10:17, a voicemail pinged onto my phone. Jodie's voice. I've had a really random thought. Icky thump. Really? I mean, okay. What's it look like when Jodie has a really random thought? Okay. That's the only thought that Jodie has. Really random thoughts. But what does it look like when Jodie Whittaker has a really random thought? It looks like this.
This is what I thought we'd go for.
Yes, exactly. You have done to Doctor Who what the Kardashians have done to femininity. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. Femininity and feminism. I've just had a really random thought. But I've got my costume with me. See, you idiot who wrote the fucking article. You couldn't read that? But I've got my costume with me. I just thought maybe we could post the video. You remember like everybody did really good ones for the watch-alongs. They were happening then. Those great like Dan Starkey. They were really good videos for the watch-alongs, right? And everybody was excited about them and liked them. Said, you know how everybody likes real Doctor Who? Like real proper Doctor Who. And they do videos about them and everybody likes them. Maybe we could do that about a pretend Doctor Who as well. And we can pretend it's for children and not for our fragile little egos. And Chibnall said, well, you're absolutely right, Jodie. It's at 10:17 on March the 18th. I've told before about how Jodie understood from the start playing the Doctor is more than just the days on set. Yeah, darling, what we wouldn't give for it just being the days on set, not the don't be scared of my gender. We weren't scared of your gender. We're scared that you'll be absolutely shit and you'll cast because of your gender and nothing else. I've talked before about how you represent the values of the show. You were just telling everybody to believe the fucking global conspiracy to, force feed a vaccine onto an untried vaccine onto the entire fucking world, right? With no, it wasn't good, right? Your mindless conformity didn't work out well. And there's no reason 7 or 8-year-olds should be taking that fucking vaccine. For God's sake, more dangerous than getting COVID was getting that fucking vaccine for 7, 8 fucking year olds. Moron. As the science told us, but the science was suppressed by morons like you. Trust the doctors, trust science. They certainly aren't in the pay of the World Health Organization and pharmaceutical companies. Really? Yeah. You can trust Pfizer. If you can't trust Pfizer, who can you trust? Have you ever seen, what's that one? What was the name of that one with the cool? Tom Baker story. Late Leela. She looks fantastic in it. Set on Neptune. What the fuck is that name of the story? Okay, fine. I just got to look this up for a second. This is making me crazy. Right? Crazy. Hang on. Let's have a look. Doctor Who episode guide. And doink, obviously. Classic. I'm going to kick myself when I remember. It's really annoying me now. Sunmakers. Yeah, COVID was the Sunmakers made flesh, mate. I picked. Showing And here she is again, showing that understanding. She showed no understanding of the role at any point. Look, this is Bradley Walsh's expression when she said she's showing understanding. It's like, do what, mate? Do me a favor. Kids would rather eat crushed glass than watch her. I pinged her voice message back, and we exchanged a handful of messages across the day about what we both think kids and adults, most crucially, but crucially kids, would want to hear. That's your fucking problem. You're thinking, how you can make yourself bigger than children. You can think you're using children to self-aggrandize yourself, right? To make yourself feel important. You're not talking to children. You're talking fucking down to children, because that's how you look at children. Look, here's the truth. Children are as but children are as intelligent as adults, but they lack life experience, right? And they have innocence, right? But like, and their development needs to mature and grow, but because from their gaining of life experience. But like this idea that children are dumb, and they have to be talked to like idiots, is the worst form of parenting in the world. I ping her back a message. Fine. By Friday at 13:30, or not even this is all timestamped. I tapped and retapped a speech into my phone. When I WhatsApp Jodie the text, she responds an hour later, 14:30 exactly, with a note about the first paragraph. She's right. Yeah, we said, hi, I want to have a shit in my pants. Oh, she said, it doesn't sound very doctory. Oh, you're right, Jodie. I'll take the shit in your pants flying out. That's good for you, mate. I rewrite it and I send it back at 15:01. Fuck me, you're a boring cunt. Oh, God, you're such a boring, talentless cunt. Oh, and I say that with love, right? I just wish somebody told that to you when you were younger and you wouldn't have gone into writing and then we would have gone into accountancy or something. I rewrite it and send it back to her at 15:01. Jodie texts me, I'll get learning. It's literally under a minute long. At 15:09, we talk about the logistics, how she's going to do it, how she'll film it over the weekend. I read it all again and send an amended second paragraph at 15:26. 2 thumbs up from Jodie at 15:20. Fuck me. What was the Red Dwarf where they're talking about where Rimmer's talking about his time playing let me find that clip where Rimmer's talking about playing Risk, right? Let me find that clip. Right, will I be able to pick out the episode? Let's have a look. Anybody in the chat knows which one it is? Please let me know. Right, it was relatively early. It was a Crichton episode, so it was in, I don't know, 4th or 5th season. Let's have a look. 1 second. Where's Red Dwarf? Red Dwarf. So I'm going to go for. Let's look at season 4. When they go fishing, I think. Meltdown, Dimension Dump, Whitehole, Justice. No, none of those ones. Season 5, Hollow Ship, The Inquisitor, Terraform, Quarantine, Back to Reality. Meltdown. Okay, well done. Thank you. Where is it? So Meltdown is that was season 4, though, wasn't it? It was Meltdown. Okay. Let me find that clip. Because this is exactly what it's like. Oh, no, they were on Starbug at the time. I thought it was the one where they were going to go fishing, right? And they're trying to sneak off without Rimmer. Is this a speech? I don't think so.
Exploration. It can take you anywhere.
1 second. So that was the travel pad.
to wish I had never come to cadet training school. To the south lay water. There was no way we could cross that. To the east and west, 2 armies squeezed us in a pincer. The only way was north. I had to go for it and pray the gods were smiling on me. I picked up the dice and threw 2 6s.
Yeah. Oh, this is exactly right. But hey, wait. This is not the one I was thinking of. There was another one. They were going fishing, and they're trying to sneak off without Rimmer. Where was it? Out of time. No, it wasn't 6. I think it was season 5, wasn't it? Holoship, Inquisitor, Terraform, Quarantine. Is it Terraform? Could be Terraform. No, that was not it. Forgot about that. Quite built there, Chris Barry. Looking good for yourself. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to try one more. Video file. I don't think it was season 7. Maybe it's season 3. Backwards, Maroon, Polymorph, Body Swap, Time Slides, The Last Day. No, none of those. Dimension Jump? Which one's that was season 2, wasn't it? That's Parallel Universe. Which one's Dimension Jump? Hang on. Now I've got to look that up. Red Dwarf Dimension Jump. That sounds right, though. That does sound right. That it was season 4, episode 5. Let's have a look. Season 4. I thought it was in season 4. Dimension Jump. Okay, that's you get the good Ace Rimmer opening. What a guy. Okay, yeah, they're sneaking off. And he makes it to Starbug. Where is it? We've got to be close to here. Right, because it's a real great expression of how boring Rimmer is. Where is it? Somewhere around here.
Come on, you bores. Let's do something. How about we all sing some campfire songs?
Yeah, that's Chris Chibnall. That is 100% Chris Chibnall. It's somewhere around here. But they're trying to sneak off without him. And then so they can come with. And it was like, no! I think it's right here.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Best to get there in one piece than to rush it and cause an accident, eh?
I have passed my test, sir. I am a fully qualified pilot.
Mind that star?
What? That star is over 2 light years away.
I can't find it. Okay, I'm about to give up.
Plastic card, the plastic card.
But that is that. Okay, that's who Chris Chibnall is. What a boring cunt. Oh, where are we up to? No, I can't. Where's the page? I'm looking for it. No, not there. I just had the page open and now I've totally lost it. Oh, I know where it is. Doink. Over here. There you go. Oh, let's see if we can get through this without, mass suicides. Where are we up to? It's like we're still making this short, right? And then there's a weekend. I have a birthday under lockdown. Me and my wife and our 2 kids have cocktails at home. They have mocktails. And Bradley Walsh gets beautifully pranked by Ant and Dec. It was a weird day, not the prank. Ping. 9:39 on Monday morning, 23rd of March, a video lands on my home via WhatsApp. There's the doctor in dark bright light beyond her, and I take I take Jodie, which I watch what Jodie has sent. She leaves me a voice message. Icky thump. I've been doing it again. Oh, I can look this out 20 times a day. I watch it. It makes me feel pretty emotional. I look in the mirror and go, Chris, you're such a relevant and important person. It makes me so excited. What are we up to? Is it quite emotional? It makes me feel pretty emotional, despite knowing the content, because there's the doctor, and I really need to hear from the doctor. Why? You're like a 6-year-old? I mean, I guess that's your writing style. Because I'm still 8-year-old inside. Believe me, mate. On the outside, not so far away from that either. We move fast. I say, you don't do anything fucking fast. We move fast. I put a first-class stamp on it. I send it to Joe Pierce, our digital supremo. Yeah, because there's so much effects on that. And one of our most trusted creative partners, who knows all the process for getting it into the world. You put it on YouTube. Fuck me. I send it to Matt Belch. And he loves talking to us. We laugh and laugh. Former producer Sarah Dane Adventures at BBC Studios. Suggests we show it to Charlotte Moore and Piers Wenger. Oh yeah. Yeah, those that brain thrust, right? Overeducated morons. Oh, that's really the feature, the ongoing feature of everything wrong in the world. Overeducated morons, because these are sensitive times. Yes, we have to trust the doctors, right? Because they'll never steer us wrong, will they? Those incredible, great doctors, right? Nothing will go wrong. By the end of the day, we've all had they've all more than approved it. They said this is awful shit. It fits directly into Doctor Who, but now it has to go through other layers of BBC. Understandably, anything related to an unfolding pandemic must go through the highest levels of approvals at both BBC Studios and BBC itself. Unlike the script for Doctor Who or Dr. fucking Fauci. As we await for the multiple approvals they need for the Doctor doesn't dissipate. It seems to get stronger. Well, if you need the Doctor again, why are you calling Jodie fucking Whittaker? It seems to get stronger, and the world comes back. World comes back. It's approved. I write the tweet and keeping it simple. This Jodie, she doctor, not shit. The message goes live, and over the day we're flooded with responses, but not from children or anybody who likes Doctor Who. The best are from parents. Exactly. Parents who had to tie their children down to chairs to watch your fucking awful Doctor Who, because there's no way in the world they would ever watch it otherwise. The best one who showed it to their children, 7-year-old, 8-year-olds. Some of them started vomiting profusely, and we had to take them to the hospital, worrying they had COVID. No, they just had Doctor Who. The clip is played in full on Radio 1 and 2 breakfast shows. It showed on the BBC News. This character, this show is the result of 57 years. Well, I think 55 years, and then you came along. Years of, God, look at it. She's so shit. Of many people's creative efforts that we're sitting upon and taking a shit all over it with our desperate narcissism. It is so unknowable, so emotional, so daft, and occasionally so important. Yeah, again, this is all about you feeling important. All right, not about doing any actual good. Jodie Whittaker in her cupboard, the Doctor. I want to show you actually what people doing something important looks like. You have a lot of people, doing stuff for climate change, like stopping traffic, making life miserable for everybody. Here's what people do. I hope I got this video. Here's what somebody actually doing something good for climate change looks like. Did I get rid of this video? That'd be really dumb of me. Where was it? I'm sure I got this right. Oh, I know it's over here. Hang on. I know exactly where it is. This is nearly as badly done as a Jodie Whittaker message from a closet. It was in my bookmarks. It was here we go. Hang on. Twitter video downloader over here. Oh man, I'm going late. But again, my wife and brother-in-law and kids are out at 7-Eleven getting Slurpees. I'm okay. Yeah, wait, let me download this. Yeah. So again, you see the morons doing stuff for climate change, right? This is somebody actually doing something for the environment, right? Doing something good. Yeah, I'll get rid of the music. But this is what helping the environment looks like, right? It's not you gluing yourself to the road and go, we've only got 10 minutes left before the world, Flash, I love you. We've only got 14 hours left till the world is destroyed. Yeah, this is what actually doing something for the environment looks like. Not fun, right? It looks like work. Something that these flaccid morons just don't fucking understand. Series 24 will be like feels like Red Dwarf. It does feel a bit. I have no idea what that's saying, but whatever. Let's finish this before I lose the will to live. A few days later, I get another. Many people's effort. A few days later, I get a voice message from Jodie. She's been asked by the BBC, as others have, to do to front a public information film. Yes, the BBC. They just have no end of good ideas. I've said I'll only do it if you write for me as the doctor. So I get a PowerPoint presentation. Fuck me, this is so boring. It has government guidelines on it. You can always trust the government. They're not going to fuck you over. No way. That won't happen. I am writing information. I'm writing public information bills at BBC for the government guidelines for the doctor to say exactly. That's what's wrong with your fucking doctor. You're writing information guidelines given to you by the government. You non-critical moron piece of human excrement. There's no reason why children, as far as I know, should have taken that fucking vaccine. It was only to shut up the fucking teachers who didn't want to do any work. We can teach remotely. Yeah, just strap a mask on a kid. What we do for a living is bonkers. Yes, right there. Who cares about fiction and writers? No one. No one cares, right? No one fucking cares, right? And characters, when they're all the frontline key workers are risking their lives, they're not. Let's clap for them though. Yay. And now we're going to shit on them because they didn't want to take the vaccine. Okay, but we'll wait a couple of months for that. And these are stories and characters so fundamental and mysterious. Yeah, it's a need that you deprived us from. Fucking moron. But this character created by so many people, influencers over such a long period of time, which only took us a couple of years to destroy. It was really quite remarkable. Well, you can say that about Biden in America, can't you? A long period of time sometimes can help us feel better. That's your fucking problem. You use this show to make you feel better. Even if just for a moment. I sort of knew that, but for a moment, it's more tangible than ever. I feel so special. I feel as special as when I made Jodie Whittaker the First Lady Doctor, and almost as special as I made Jo Martin the First Lady Black Doctor, and didn't explain it. When I came into this job, I talked about the 13th Doctor, the beacon of hope. Well, we hoped she would leave for a long time, right? And when she did, we rejoiced. I've also been watching the Doctor Who community become more beacons of hope. Really? Under your tenure, the Doctor Who community became a vicious cesspool of scum and villainy. Well, anybody who ended up shilling for your era, and attacking any normal person relentlessly, stalking us and making our lives absolute fucking hell, right? That beacon of hope, right? That wasn't very hopeful. You miserable cunt. You made it miserable for us. You absolute cunt. Speaking of hope to each other during this time. Oh, you're talking about Ellie Cook's tweet-alongs. That was great until that cocksucker, Paul Cornell, who was desperate to get a job off you, who you didn't give a job to. By the way, Chris, why didn't you just make him the head writer? He may be a cocksucking hypocrite piece of shit, but he knows how to write fucking Doctor Who more than you did, right? He could have taken your idiot ideas and tried and fashion them into something workable, and you wouldn't have had a complete and total failure. But no. And they're going through the people who have made these shows. Yes, that's who you're ripping off. Again, we had all these great tweet-along videos going on, and that's what you were trying to suckle the life out of, right? We've been posting Silk Stores online just to keep the connection there once a week to let you know we're still here. We know you're there, mate. We could smell you. Thinking of you. No, you're thinking of yourself. Lockdown. Oh, this is nothing. Literally nothing compared to what Will nurses, porters, cleaners, and cooks, care workers, and key workers, frontline workers, and the doctors are doing right now. But 1 year from now, you will be absolutely fine with them being eviscerated, fired, and have their lives destroyed because they wouldn't mindlessly take a vaccine that they've seen kill a bunch of people that they shouldn't have done. Fuck you. Fuck you with your clap for the NHS and then take a shit on them. However, our views about the show may differ. I think you're shit and the show is shit and you destroyed it and you caused damage to the fucking world by doing it. So yeah, they may differ a bit from you. We're built together by Doctor Who. No, not your Doctor Who. Your Doctor Who, which was the most exclusive, gatekeeping piece of human excrement shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. Oh, I think the show, in all its areas, is spin-offs. They didn't have spin-offs for you because nobody liked it enough, right? Because you destroyed it. And stories in whatever form you care to name. Well, I got stories in any name that didn't have Chris Chibnall in it. Gives us something to hold on to in these days. I'm grateful for that, for being so stunning and brave and being a beacon of hope. I'm a beacon of hope. I do it for Jodie. Oh, we break the glass ceiling. I hope you and yours stay well. I hope you die horribly. Well, not obviously. Nobody do violence to him. But if he gets radiation poisoning, and melts away every week, I can live with it. And I hope you stay charged with hope. The hope we were charged with is you and your disgusting band of fans that made life miserable for everybody else would go away and be humiliated. Basically, that's happened. It's what the Doctor would want. How would you fucking know? I know. She told me. Look. Cosplay Doctor was never the fucking Doctor, right? Cosplay Doctor was never the Doctor. So he says something interesting here, which I'm going to examine a little bit more deeply. What we do for living doctors. Who cares about fiction and writers? Well, I don't. I don't care about fiction. I don't care about writers. And I certainly don't care about actors, which is interesting because we have an actors and writers strike going on right now. And we have all these articles where they say, care about us. Oh, care about our plight. We couldn't give a shit about you. You've made nothing but garbage for years and years and years while wagging your finger at us. No more so than this human piece of soy, Will fucking Wheaton. Right? I hope this strike goes on forever and they grind you into the dirt and they replace you with AI. I really hope that happens because it's not going to affect the quality of the bullshit that has been vomited out to us. Speaking on behalf of the SAG after WA strikes, Will Wheaton made it personal by explaining just how important those Star Trek residuals were. Okay, you get residuals of Star Trek because they were good TV that didn't navel gaze on whatever your weird sexual obsession is of the day. Oh yeah, let's have children go to drag. And anybody who doesn't like it, oh, they're a bad person. You know what? You remember how you told us that you hated anybody who voted for Trump? Well, we hate you back, mate. We hate you back, and we hope this goes badly for you, right? I hope you go down first, and then the studio's right next to you. As far as Star Trek Universe, the entertainment industry, and life in general go, well, Wheaton, the Star Trek hosts the Wedding Room, which is shit beyond shit. Story is definitely a survivor's tale. Yeah, he got abused. I don't even know what happened or something. I just know he's a human piece of soy shit right now. The actor and podcast host has been open about the past abuse he suffered as a child actor. And well, was he Kevin Spacey? No, apparently Kevin Spacey didn't do anything for it. He got acquitted. And how he was left in financial hardships by his parents. Okay, well, you know. Listen, mate. Life is hard for everybody, and we all get hard challenges, and things that aren't fair happen to everyone, right? I'm sorry about that. He's also very open and honest when it comes to addressing the important issues impacting pop culture, the pop culture community. That's why I fucking hate you. I hate you because you are a hateful cunt, Will Wheaton, right? He absolutely is a moron, hateful cunt, spouting absolute soy nonsense. So when it comes to the ongoing SAG-AFTRA and WGA strike, you can imagine that Will Wheaton has more than a few irons in the fire. Again, go to Christmas, mate. I hope this fight goes to Christmas. It'll take down the studios. It'll take down the actors. Oh, yes. And I hope you walk away with nothing with your tail between your legs. In a recent Instagram post, he posed with Star Trek Next Generation Gates McFadden. Yeah, again, the least of the TNG crew. Honestly, would you rather watch a Crusher episode or a Barclay episode? Exactly. I mean, again, okay, let's go through it. Would you rather watch a Picard episode? Yes. Would you rather watch a Riker episode? Yes. Would you rather watch a Troy episode? Oh, always yes. I mean, honestly, though, even though freaking gorgeous in that spandex, there was some. I mean, what, Face of the Enemy? Fucking great episode there. Would you rather watch a Jodie episode? Microscopically, yes, microscopically more. Yeah. Would you rather watch a Wolf episode? Yes. Would you like who would you rather watch an episode with? Right. Nobody wants to see a Crusher episode. We didn't explain on a personal level just how important the residuals acts are. My parents stole nearly all my salary for my entire childhood. My Star Trek residuals were all I had, and they kept me afloat for 2 decades. I don't care. You know what happened when they kept you afloat for 2 decades? That enabled you to look down your nose at most of America and wag your idiot little finger to her, you soy piece of garbage, right? There. So maybe you shouldn't have had your residuals, right? And frankly, I don't know any other profession where you do a job and then you keep getting paid for it 20 years later, right? It's fucking ridiculous. Well, I rebuilt my life, Wheaton writes at one point, offering readers a mini history lesson on how the studios have worked residuals in the past and what they're looking at, what they're looking to do moving forward. SAG WGA don't counter their efforts. If SAG WGA don't counter it, here's a look at the full text below. I don't care. To give some sense of what's stake. My pathetic little lifestyle. Yes, I hope it comes crashing down around your fucking ears, mate. The AMTTP billionaires want to take all the security away and give them to the CEOs. Even more grotesque. Well, again, this is your fucking politics you voted for. You voted viscerally for Biden, right? And Biden is the establishment, right? The Biden is the billionaires. Biden is the CEOs, right? And he gets you on board by saying, come on, man, we got to help the little people. He couldn't care less about little people unless they're talking about children that he wants to rape, right? Allegedly, according to his daughter. His daughter's diary, which was very creepy. Ashley Biden's diary, very creepy, right? They're actors who are massively successful, profiting, and critically acclaimed shows on all your streaming services. You don't see them all the time. They're famous A-list celebrities. Nearly all of the actors don't earn enough money to qualify for health insurance. But yet still, you could spend that last 7 years calling 70 million Americans, minimally 50% of your audience, and calling them Nazis relentlessly, watching your audience vanish around your ears, making low-level garbage. I mean, honestly, everything that's come out of the Kurtzman Trek since 2017, with the exception of Picard Season 3 and Strange New Worlds Season 1, has been unwatchable, evil, narcissistic, idiotic, and I say that idiotic mostly, low intelligence, low-tier garbage, right? It's all been that stuff for relentlessly, mate. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you. It's mind blowing how bad the quality has been coming out of Hollywood. What am I up to? There we go. Because the studios forced them to accept buyout on all their residuals, decades of reuse at the least. That is less than I earned for 1 week on TNG, and I was the lowest paid cast member in '88. Deservedly so. You were shit, right? You leaving the show made it much better. Honestly, you left the show. Next minute, we had best of both worlds. They want to do this while the studio profit the CEO's compensation at historic heights. Yes, I understand. This inequality that you are pushed for is the politics you have voted for. You cockwomble moron, right? You absolute cockwomble moron. And again, you could have had your views and not just look down your nose at the rest of the fucking world, and you wouldn't be in this position now, right? But you did look down your nose at the rest of the world, right? Okay, here's a look at the politics that you firmly back, right? Elon Musk is getting in trouble right now because he put a big X on the building. And may I just say again, the X rebound for Twitter is shit beyond shit, right? So because he's a bad person now, he's breaking the narrative for the Biden regime, right? Because now he's evil incarnate, right? So he's got to be investigated. However, real crime, that's fine. So take a compare and contrast. Okay, they're not investigating the car being stolen. Here, you can see the people run away from it. What? Must put an X out. This is your idiot politics, right? You're the one who caused the destruction of society, Will fucking Wheaton, right? You're the one who caused literally you're the one who caused these CEOs to become insanely powerful. Because why? Oh, this man bad. Oh, he's such a racist. Again, world peace and the best economy of our lifetimes is what we had before. And the only problem we had is morals like you screaming, "Oh, he's so racist," and believing every piece of fucking nonsense you were fed, right? And did we ever get any mea culpa out of you? Did we ever get you go, "Oh, I might have got that wrong"? No, fucking didn't. I mean, if not now, when? I haven't even touched on AI and working conditions. I don't care about your fucking problems, you elitist cunt. We must fight for our future. You're going to fight on your own. A future of our industry on the face of changing technology. You're going to fight on your own, right? Because we don't give a shit. You've made shit and you've been a shit, right? The same way our elders did in 1960. So today, my space mum and I went to a place where it started for us way back. Just do that. I see your support. I hope you see my support and my intense lack of it. It means so much. Good. I hope you're hearing what we're saying. Thank you. Will Wheaton on fans separating Buffy from the garbage Josh Whedon. What? Back in 2022, when a fan explained in a posted question that why they were a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan since they were all teenagers now, and how the body where Sarah Michelle Gellar's Buffy lost her mother helped them deal with the loss of their father. Okay, what's this got to do with anything? But since the allegations against the crazy Joss Whedon have surfaced, they haven't rewatched a single episode. You're a schmuck then, right? You're an absolute schmuck. But now they were looking to Wheaton to share his thoughts on if it's possible to love the art and hate the artist. Well, that's the only choice anybody, Wright or Jeremy fucking Corbyn has had in terms of TV in the last 7 to 8 years. Or do folks just need to box that away? Whatever. Wheaton began to explaining that he had to run into the same situation with a songwriter he idolized when he was young, who grew up to be a reprehensible bigot. I bet he wasn't. I bet you were just a schmuck, right? Before directing his thoughts to Whedon. How much is this going on? Fine, let's finish this off. That's a long way of saying that Joss Whedon sure turned out to be garbage. Okay, because of who I and my friends are. I know stuff that isn't public. Okay. You knew about Harvey Weinstein. You knew about the entirety of Me Too. And you couldn't call anybody out. You know why? Because you're a fucking coward. Because it wasn't safe. Right? It's safe to thumb your nose at Trump supporters and Trump, right? That was safe because you made it a safe environment. But did you speak out against Me Too? Did you speak out against, anybody having to give a blowjob to a bloated fucking casting director so they can get the third lead in a Geico fucking commercial? Did he ever say anything about it? No, you just smiled smugly, like a piece of soy shit that you are. But Buffy is more than him. It's really not. It's entirely Joss Whedon. It's entirely Joss Whedon. It's all the actors and crew who made it. It's entirely Joss Whedon, right? He cast everybody and tried to fuck most of them, apparently. It's all the writers who aren't Joss Whedon. He was the one directing it. It is entirely Joss Whedon. So's Firefly. And it's fucking awesome. I'm sorry. Right? Paul Cornell books. They're excellent, right? He's a piece of shit, in my opinion. That he wrote a terrific. But at least one of the episodes he wrote was deeply meaningful to you at a moment in your life when you experienced loss. A loss I could only imagine. How old are you? You still have both your parents, you piece of shit cunt. A person you are now and the 16-year-old who lost their dad are the most important, are more important than a piece of shit Joss Whedon has revealed himself to be, which you knew about, right? He did before he revealed it. You knew about it. Did you say anything? Did you do a damn thing? No, you fucking didn't. Like, I think the Orville went woke beyond woke, and it's like, what, second, third season, the one they did on Hulu, and I hope we never see it again. But I have nothing but respect for Seth MacFarlane calling out Harvey Weinstein, right? That's bravery. That's what bravery actually looks like. Not you weedy, spineless, ballless piece of shit. His bad behavior is on him. He has to live with it. Yes, and also the millions of dollars he has in luxury and the consequences of it, never having to work and living in luxury. The 16-year-old you who just lost their dad shouldn't have to think about what a shit Joss Whedon is. It's all about twitting other people down to make himself feel good. That kid and you deserve to have that piece and revisit it whenever you need to go there. From there, Whedon went on to explain that as an actor who was also an abuse survivor. Listen, mate. Anybody who's seen The Ready Room is an abuse survivor from a fucking actor. He hopes that viewers watch and enjoy his work. Actually, when seeing you always makes me cringe. The art is always bigger than one piece of shit did 2 decades ago. As Whedon sees it, I mean, like, all these people are like social crusaders, are just vacuous, empty moron pieces of people. Let's have a quick look. Okay, I really got to wrap up soon, but I want to look at Kevin Spacey. Hang on. Want to look at let's have a look. New York Times. Kevin Spacey celebrates so hard after being cleared of sexual assault. Because I know nothing about this case, right, other than he was accused. Jurors who were taken to meet Kevin Spacey and shook his hands with him after clearing him of sexually assaulting 4 men, and witnesses reveal, well, if they thought he was innocent, then why wouldn't they do that, right? One reporter said it was like watching Spacey greet fans at a red carpet. Well, again, I think why do they acquit him? Members of the Crown Court jury were taken to meet Kevin Spacey and shook blah 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 blah. The group of jurors said that when they met Kevin Spacey, he thanked them for again. That sounds fine to me. Around half, all you don't like is you didn't get a pound of flesh, right? You didn't feel like you could like be virtuous. Around half a dozen members of the jury reportedly waited outside the courthouse to see if they could meet him, according to his reports, even as it's described, meet and greet by one journalist. Okay, but let's hear about the actual reports, right? They were taken to a foyer to meet Spacey, where he also said to have made a brief bow towards them with his arms closed across the chest. Look, if he is innocent, I fucking love Kevin Spacey. And do your own independent media, right? I loved when he did Frank Underwood to himself for no apparent reason. The actor appeared to be weeping and thanking the jurors. The Sunday Times has reported the scene was described as like watching Spacey Grease. Well, he was weeping. That's not what it's like when he meets his fans. One call, okay, but what? Let's hear about the underlying story. Double Oscar winner was to overcome with emotion as the Southwark Crown Court returned not guilty verdict on Spacey was accused of abusing his fame and carrying out 9 sex acts on 4 men. Blimey. I like, honestly, I have the energy for 1 sex act on 1 woman. Okay? After that, I'm sleeping. 9 sex acts on 4 men. Bloody hell. What was he? The Ever Ready Bunny? Fuck me. And what was this sex act? But he insisted the claims were madness and accused the claimants of lying for money. Well, okay. He reportedly celebrated not guilty verdict for his 61st birthday in London. He was spotted in the city. Witness told Page 6 he looked very proud. He was sitting in the entrance. Good. He should do, right? He spent the evening nursing a whiskey on. Look, he didn't sing happy birthday, but everybody else was in good spirits. Spacey reported, hey, tell me about the actual case. On the steps of the court after it was delivered, the US actor thanked his jury and the legal team, as well as longtime friend Lowenstein, for standing with him. Man, yeah, look, when you get cancelled, you find out who your friends are. He said, I imagine that many of you understand this bit. There's a lot for me to do for the process of what happened today, but I would like to say I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all the evidence and the facts carefully before reaching their decision. I am humbled by the outcome today. Never trust anybody and say they're humbled by the outcome today. I also want to thank the staff inside the courthouse, the security, my legal team, and Evan Lursing for being there every day. Well, I don't know who he was, but do we know anything about this? Speaking of the impact, the allegations, Spacey told the jury, I've lost everything. That's true. I mean, apart from the money. The allegations against the actor were not only shredded by what had been a glittering career, but also major financial impact. Told the star to pay $25.5 million to produce a House of Cards after he was sacked. Fuck me, that's rough. He also has landed at least $1 million in defense fees and suffered humiliation being edited out. Ridley Scott's. Yeah, but hey, do we have? Does it link to the actual story? Read more. Okay. Does this say anything? Celebrates with a whiskey. Blah blah blah. Meghan Markle's a cunt. Wait. Isn't it? This is the story. I just. Why would it link to here? To read. Oh, is this the one? Hang on. Kevin Spacey acquittal doesn't mean he should be uncancelled. Fuck you. Fuck you. Jewish Chronicle. Who is Kevin Spacey's best friend and manager? Should we go to CNN? Let's go to Fox. I despise Fox, but I despise CNN slightly more. So a jury crowned jurors deliberated Monday after nearly 4 weeks of testimony. The jurors returned a video not guilty. I imagine that many of you can understand blah blah blah. I'm humble blah blah blah. 64 between 2001 and 2013, they range from unwanted touching to aggressive crotch grabbing, and in one instance, performing oral sex on an unconscious man. Well, I don't know. That sounds really sweet. I mean, listen, I would not like a blowjob from somebody when I'm unconscious, other than my good lady wife, of course. But that just seems like a reasonably giving act to me. I'm sorry. Look, I mean, listen. I mean, they say the same thing about Michael Jackson, the greatest host ever. He would invite you around to his house. Yeah, as long as you're a 12-year-old. He'll invite you around to his house and let you ride a roller coaster, get you drunk, and give you a blowjob. That's a great host. Fuck me. I've never been that good a host. Agnew emphasized the 4 men's accounts were similar, not because they had been conspired to bring down Kevin Spacey, but because groping was reportedly Spacey's trademark move, according to the prosecution. Spacey allegedly seized the moments for opportunity grab and was able to get away with assaults for years because he was celebrating blah, blah, blah. So how was all these disproved, right? Spacey's defense lawyer said during the closing arguments on Friday that 3 of the men are liars and suggested the jurors not convict them because a clumsy pass made at a fourth man. Okay, Spacey testifies himself over span of 2 days. He testified himself over a span of 2 days, during which he violently denied he denied violently groping one of his accusers, instead painted a picture that their intimate, somewhat sexual relationship for the jury. I never thought that man I knew 20 years later was stabbed in the back. See, that sounds believable to me. I'm sorry, that does sound believable. Spacey's description of a gentle stroking in the direct contradiction to alleged victim's testimony, and he caught them by surprise by aggressively grabbing their privates through their clothing. Elton John also testified remotely in Spacey's defense at one point during the file, confirming that American Beauty star only attended one of the musical's annual galas in 2001. One of Spacey's alleged victims claimed that the actress ordered him while the two were driving to John's white tie and tiara ball in 2004 and 5. Okay, so they're picking holes in it. Spacey first faced allegations of sexual misconduct from Anthony Rapp. Yeah, man, one of the shittest characters, one of the shittest Star Trek, right? In 2017. Rapp accused Spacey of sexually assaulting him in the 80s. Spacey was found not liable in a civil lawsuit. Listen, it seems to be he's doing well for it. That's fine. Why they say he shouldn't be uncancelled. No, I'm not subscribing now. If I got to pay for this shit, I'm not. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll say let's try the Wayback Machine, because this just annoys me. They're gonna pay for the LA fucking Times. Leave me alone. There we go. Let's see if this comes up or it's blocked. Because I'm not paying for the LA fucking Times. Hello. Let's just open it up. There we go. Okay, fine. This week on the acquittal of 9 counts of sexual assault and indecent... Casey opened on up with saying, I imagine that many of you can understand there's been a lot of process for me to happen today. What happened to you today? Fine. Yes, we can. So, yes, we certainly can. Since 2017, we've all been watching the full Kevin Spacey unfold and masturbating to it, basically. More than 30 men accused, I don't give a shit, of sexual assault or inappropriate behavior, to which he actually responded by coming out as gay, then retreating for evaluation. Oh, he did the BBC guys move, right? Eventually denying all allegations, occasionally posting truly creepy Christmas videos. I quite like those. For 6 long years, this highly acclaimed actor... Oh, what is it? Go away. This highly acclaimed actor, and once beloved by Spacey fans, colleagues, media outlets, blah, 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 artistic community, and cultural laws left a lot to process. But now we're back for round 156, having been acquitted. Should Kevin Spacey be uncancelled? Yes, you were wrong. You were clearly wrong at this point. Yes. One can deride their ubiquity and accuracy in terms of cancelled, but there's no denying this applies to Spacey. Even at the height of Me Too, no one fell as hard as he did, from going from beloved A-lister to Hollywood pariah in a matter of weeks. Yes, and he should be compensated for that. In 2017, the 2-time Oscar winner was riding high, star of House of Cards and enthusiastic evangelist for the streamer. Then, in October, actor Anthony Rapp Spacey attempted to molest him at a party when he was 14. Within hours, Spacey responded on social media and said he had no recollection of the incident. But if I did, as he describes, I owe him a sincere... This is the nicest fucking response for what I did. I feel deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. I am sorry for the feelings that he described carrying on for years. Sorry if that happened apology for allegedly molesting a 14. Are you telling me, Mr. LA Times cunt, you are in any way against child sexual exploitation? I don't fucking believe you. What do you think of The Sound of Freedom? Was that QAnon nonsense? I don't fucking believe you. For wasn't a bad enough. But then he went on, came out as gay as something of a member of the LGBTQ. Oh, he used their own shield against it. But I can't read this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. Right? I think I've gone over 3 hours. That's quite long for me. Maybe that's quite long for you. I'll sue Netflix. I hope he does. Right? I hope he does. That would be fantastic. Fine. Well, I'm not back tomorrow night. I have to watch the Barbie movie tomorrow night with my daughter. Right? It's a long story. I downloaded it illegally. I was going to watch it to review it. She really wants to see it. So I said, yeah, listen, I don't think I can possibly justify spending money to see it. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow night. Tuesday night is my son's engagement party. I'll be wearing a dress and a fez, like a thing. Oh, man, I didn't show you. On Sabbath, right? It was my Hebrew birthday today, but last night. So my wife, because I'm like on this crazy diet, I've lost a ton of weight. I've lost about 40 pounds. Quite another like 100 to go. But you know, swings around a bit. But my wife made me this awesome birthday cake because I'm not eating cake right now. I'm basically just eating fruit and vegetables. She got a. I'll take a pictures of it for next time. She got a watermelon and cut all the green off it and then decorated it with other vegetables. And it looked like a cake. It was so freaking awesome. Put a little 52 on top because I am 52. So anyway, I will be back on. I'm probably going to live stream on Wednesday and Thursday this week. I'm looking for a live stream on Thursday. I haven't live stream on Thursday for ages. Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. It's been over 3 hours, baby. Going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to